Welcome, everyone. Today is Monday, March 2nd, 2026, and this is the annual reorganization meeting of the Asbury Park Planning Board. Chairwoman Kurzak, can you please call this meeting to order?
Yes, this meeting is being held in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975. Adequate notice of the meeting has been provided to the Coaster Asbury Park Press by publication of the annual meeting notice and posted on the municipal bulletin board and municipal website. All notices are on file with the board secretary. Official action may be taken on the following matters before the board. This meeting is being recorded by APTV. Please join me to salute the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will now take roll call. James Bonanno.
Here.
Councilwoman Clayton.
Here.
Jim Henry.
Here.
Mayor Moore.
Here.
Jen Souter.
Here.
Daniel Shenameo.
Here.
Bob Zuckerman is absent. Kathy McLaughlin.
Here.
Vice Chair Goonan is absent, and Chairwoman Kurzak.
Here. For those of you that haven't gone through this before, this is a different kind of a meeting to start. It's a reorg, which we have not had a chance to do yet in 2026, so Happy New Year. It's the first time we're meeting. So we have a boatload of approvals to go through first, and then we will get to the application right after that. And I'm hoping to do it right after so that there isn't, we don't want to delay any more than we have to. All right, first item up is that we have the appointment and reappointments of some planning board members. John Moore, Yvonne Clayton, James Bonanno, Barbara Krizak. Bob Zuckerman has been brought up to a Class 4 member from alternate 1, and Catherine McLaughlin has been brought up to alternate 1 from alternate 2. Can I get a nomination for a temporary chairperson?
I'll nominate Barbara Kurzak.
Second.
Sorry about the slow roll call, guys. Okay, James Bonanno.
Yes.
Councilwoman Clayton.
Yes.
Jim Henry.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Jen Souter.
Yes.
Daniel Shenameo.
Yes.
Kathy McLaughlin.
Yes.
Chairwoman Kurzak?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Okay, the nomination for board secretary, temporary board secretary, Marie Rodriguez.
I'll second that.
Okay, Perkin, Diaz, okay.
Marie, for this, you don't have to do you can do a full roll call. You don't have to do each individual's name.
So I could just,
All in favor?
all in,
Anyone opposed?
That's what we want to know.
Yes.
That's what
I'm
the question.
sorry.
That was the question.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Yes, you
okay.
can do that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Jeffrey.
All right, temporary board attorney, Jeff Beekman.
Second. Move.
So that's,
So Mayor Moore moved it.
and then Jim
I'll
Henry.
second.
Henry seconded.
Okay, any discussion about that?
Nope.
No, all in favor?
Aye.
None
Aye.
opposed? Thank you.
Well, that was fun.
Okay, there's that.
Okay. All right, so now we're getting to the actual, the board reorganization. I need a nominee for chairperson.
Barbara Kurzak.
And, did I get a second? And, let's see.
Do we have a first and do we have a second of that?
I'll second that.
Put us all down for a second.
Okay.
Okay, any discussion about that, or all in favor?
Any other nominations before we close nominations?
Close. Second.
Close.
Now
All
you can.
all in favor, none opposed?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Vice Chair nominee?
Vice chairperson, I nominate Mike Goonan.
Second.
Okay, and any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? Thank you.
Nomination for board secretary, I nominate Marie Rodriguez.
Second.
Any discussion? No? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's- Board attorney, oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay, board attorney, Jack Serpico.
Second.
And Yvonne, any discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Conflict attorney, the Beekman Law Firm.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Board planner, nominate Clark Caton Heinz.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And
Board engineer, Leon Avakian Incorporated.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for the continued support. I love working here. So
Thank you. Board recording services, APTV.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Just for the record, so people understand that we do not have a conflict engineer or a conflict planner yet. We are in the process of working on that. So as of right now, when that comes up and it's out for bid at this point.
They're already coming.
They're already coming in, so once we determine that, we'll bring that up again and bring that up in a meeting as appropriate. Okay, now we're up to the committees, our favorite part. Okay, Design Review Committee. This committee is, what we've done historically is that we've based this on a particular project. If somebody was particularly interested, had a particular passion for it, they would be the ones on this board for that particular application. Last year, I don't think we met at all. So it doesn't happen that often, but when it does, I like to do it when someone feels particularly passionate about that project. They should be on that committee for that particular application. So if that's okay, I'd like to propose that we continue that the same way this year.
Second.
All in favor?
All right, Bylaw Policy Committee. I would like to nominate, and feel free to say as you wish, I'd like to nominate Yvonne as the leader, Jim Henry, and Kathy on the Bylaw Committee. I don't believe that they met last year.
We didn't meet at all last year.
So I'd like to nominate those three people to be on that committee unless somebody else would like to be on it.
We're a hard-working committee.
They're very hardworking.
I'll second that.
Okay.
All in favor?
All right, Master Plan Committee. I'd like to nominate Yvonne Clayton, James Bonanno, Jen Souter, and myself for the Master Plan Committee.
Second.
Yes, all in favor?
Aye.
Just so that you know, the Master Plan Committee is going to be very busy this year, so buck up. All right, 2026 Planning Board official newspapers, The Coaster, Asbury Park Press, The Star Ledger. That's pretty much a statement, but go ahead.
With the new laws, we don't have to advertise anymore if you publish it in the papers once.
Online.
Right?
Online.
Yeah.
Online, I mean, right, but you still have to do the one publication saying,
Yeah.
That you're doing.
You have to do the annual, right?
go
and
to
then-
our website,
Right.
and we don't have to pay any of these papers anymore. But what we did at council, the coaster's so cheap, and Asbury and Asbury Park usually reads the coaster, so the council is still gonna advertise in the coaster.
Okay, so we can state that that's what we're doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what you guys do.
Yeah, no, that's fine. If
Jeff?
that, whatever the rules are.
Just a question.
Yeah.
Since the ledger no longer has a print edition, how does that affect?
Well, the new law allows you to put it online. It doesn't require it to be a print.
Okay.
So essentially, Asbury
So-
Park Press and the Ledger could be online, and the Coaster could be the printed version,
Correct.
correct? Is that acceptable to everybody?
Right,
Yeah.
but as of, I think, February, whatever.
March 1st, I think.
March
Okay,
went
March
into
1st.
So it just went into effect,
Yeah.
yes?
You
It
don't
just
have to
went into
advertise in the paper.
Oh, you don't have to do it in the paper at all,
effect. No.
but you just can do it online?
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. So,
Mayor, when you did it for the board, the commissioners, did they do all three papers?
No, we never do the Star Ledger.
Because, yeah, we don't have to do the Star Ledger.
2 papers is enough.
Sufficient.
I think we added it just in case the coaster did not have enough subscriptions.
Ah,
So we need to verify that, so we added a third as a backup.
Okay.
Yeah.
so can we say that like as a backup or as an
Yeah.
alternate?
Just to have.
Yeah,
it in case.
it's okay to do more, you just.
Okay.
can't do less.
Right, but we may not do all of them.
Right.
Right, so on a particular
Right.
application. Okay,
This is really, you're doing this for applicants.
yes,
Applicants could do their publication through any of those 3 sources.
yes, okay.
Motion, Barbara?
I, second. No, I first it.
Yeah, second?
I can't second it.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, we have the adoption of the 2026 Planning Board meeting schedule.
Everyone has had a chance to review. I can resend it again in case anybody needs it. Any discussion?
No?
Okay. And second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, well, there you go. That wasn't bad. Okay,
And,
now we're back to the regular meeting. Okay, there was a resolution on the agenda, Planning Board 2021-16-A. We are going to pull this resolution and move it to the next meeting because we had some discussions today with Jack about some wording that was in it that a couple of the members on the board were not, didn't think were firm enough. So we're going to bring it back on the 16th, which is our next meeting.
so,
So we're pulling that from this meeting, okay? All right, we have an application, 702 Summerfield Avenue.
While the team is coming up, I have had an opportunity to review the notice and the certified mailing list. It appears to me that everything is in order. However, if there's anyone in the public who would like to make any statements as far as the notice, if there are any concerns, why don't we start there? And before
Okay.
we decide whether the notice is sufficient.
That's fine. If you have a concern about the notice, please, your name and whatever Jeff needs.
Stephen Maruck, 707 Bangs Ave, Unit 301,
And could you just spell your last name, please?
MRUK. My concern in regard to the notice is
Can you
that
speak into the mic, please?
I,
Thank you.
how close to get? My concern with the notice is that Unit 401, at least on the list that was provided on the cover sheet of Insight's engineering plan, indicates a past owner and not the current owner of the unit.
What was that address?
The Unit 401 at 707 Bangs Ave has a Robert Fernandez, which I know because he's the unit above me, and that is not the current owner of the unit.
So,
If
on the
if
document,
Yep.
let me respond. On the document created on 2/9/2026 from the city, 707 Bangs Avenue, Unit 401 was Tormey,
Okay.
Chloe, and Gallen.
Okay,
Gallen.
nope, that's fine, as long as that's confirmed.
Yeah, that's
In-
on
Insights-
this list.
Right, I didn't have that list, I was going by Insight's list on their cover sheet.
Okay.
So,
Anybody else? Any other concerns? For notice? Okay, let's go.
Based on that, I would say that the notice is sufficient and. the
Oh, you have a
board
notice
has
concern? No, Oh, no, yeah, we're just wondering if anybody had a concern about receiving the notice. Okay. All right, and since we do have some members of the public, I just wanted to go over, in case you've never been to one of these meetings, is that the way that things work is that as every witness presents their, the discussion of what their presentation is, I will be asking for for members of the public if they want to question that witness after the presentation is over for that witness. So you can ask any question that you want having to do with whatever that witness said. Then and so that goes through all the witnesses that will be presenting. And then at the end of the meeting, after all presentations are over, I will ask if the public would like to have any statements, and they have 3 minutes to state whatever they like about the project. Whatever they choose to say about the project, whether they like, don't like, whatever you would like to say. We have 3 minutes for each person to be able to do that at the end before the planning board makes any decisions. Okay, floor is yours.
All right, good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. Jason Tuvel, attorney for the applicant. I guess Happy New Year to everybody. First time being here this year. So this is an application for 702 Summerfield Avenue. The property's in the CBD district. The proposal is a mixed-use development to be located at the property, which is a permitted use in the zone. There's currently pavement on the site. It's used for storage, both outside with vehicles, and there's an L-shaped one-story building located on the site as well. In addition to that, the site hasn't been developed in some time, so there's lacking in stormwater management, streetscape, a lighting scheme on the property. The applicant is proposing a 30-unit mixed-use building at the site, so that's 30 residential units, with 2,300 square feet of commercial to be located on the ground floor. And with that proposal, there'll also be improvements to the things I just mentioned before, the drainage, the streetscape, the lighting, and obviously the aesthetics of the property based on the fact that a brand-new building is being located there. So, Madam Chair, I have 4 witnesses that I plan on calling in connection with the application. So this is sort of the order that it's going to go and what they're going to be covering. So we have Doug Clellan, who's first, who's our civil engineer from Insight Engineering. So he'll go through the site plan, existing conditions, stormwater, lighting, landscaping, things related to the site. Then James Monafort is our project architect. He'll walk the board and the public through the building floor plans, as well as the elevations of the building. So that'll be handled by the architect. Third, we'll have a traffic engineer. So the traffic engineer will deal with on-site circulation, and Mr. Clellan will deal with that a little bit as well. Trip generation and access to the site, as well as parking. And then finally, we'll have our professional planner, Christine Cafone, who will go through the variance relief and the design waivers that we need in connection with the application. There are a few variances that we need. I believe your planner called out 3 of them in connection with the application, and there's a couple design waivers that we need as well. So that's sort of the game plan, the batting order for the hearing. So with your permission, Madam Chair, I'd be happy to call our first witness.
And just for, have you presented before us before?
Here, I've not presented here
All
before.
right, so do you want to check Jeff's credentials and stuff?
Not for attorneys.
Okay,
He's the attorney.
all right,
He's not a witness.
okay.
I'm happy to go through them for you, though.
That's okay. That's
Nobody's
okay.
ever asked me that. All the
because-
engineers get to do it, so I'd be happy to
Well,
go.
we wanted to give you the opportunity.
I'm teasing.
But that's okay. That's all right.
No, I've been doing this 22 years, and I was on the director of the Land Use Board of Directors for the state for about 8 of those, so. Okay.
Well, welcome.
Thank you. So our first witness I'd like to call is Doug Clellan, who's going to be our civil engineer. So I guess we should swear him in, and I'll go through his credentials.
Mr. Clellan, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
And if you just provide a background of your experience as an engineer.
Sure. I'm a licensed professional engineer in the state of New Jersey. Currently work for Insight Engineering, where I've been for the last 12 years. Working on a variety of projects from single-family homes all the way up to larger commercial site plans. Did also have the pleasure of serving as the board engineer for this great city. And my license is in good standing. I think that pretty much
That covers it.
All right. The board accepts, Mr. Clellan? Okay, great.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
All right, so Doug, why don't we get started by just describing the existing conditions on the site, kind of the shape of the property, and then we can go into the proposal after that. And I guess should we mark this, Jeff, as an exhibit?
Yes,
Is there
this was
any-
not provided to us.
This was not provided.
Yeah, it's just an aerial, but, all right, so,
Yeah, I have 3 that I'll go through that are colorized exhibits. The first here is the existing conditions exhibit. It has a date of 2/12/2026.
all right, and this was prepared by your office?
Yes.
Okay. So we can mark this as A1, if that's okay?
Sure.
Okay.
And this is just an aerial, is that? what we're
Yeah,
gonna
just an aerial image.
Okay.
Should I go through the rest of them, or we'll
Yeah, I
cross
mean,
them off?
if you want to mark them, if it's easier to mark them all now, if you're going to be going through your testimony.
Sure. This is the next one, which is a proposed site rendering exhibit, also dated 2/12/2026, prepared by my office.
And this is the same site plan the board has, it's just colorized with the landscaping superimposed, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
And finally is the neighborhood aerial, which is just a zoomed out version of the colorized site plan that was submitted to everyone. And this is also dated 2/12/2026, prepared by my office.
All right, so we'll mark that as A3.
And Mr. Clowney, you represent that these aerials are what's existing there today, correct?
As of, I believe, October 2025 was the date of the image. All right, so the address is 702 Summerfield Avenue. It's known as Block 2506, Lot 1. The lot size is 13,222 square feet, just about 0.3 acres. And as was mentioned, it's in the CBD mixed-use district. As you can see, it's a rectangular property located on the south side of Summerfield Avenue. It's about at the midpoint of the block, the first block east of Main Street, between Main Street and Bond Street. It's currently developed with a one-story industrial building, and the remainder of the lot is paved, so that L-shaped building is here along the southern and eastern sides, and the rest is paved. It's surrounded by a variety of commercial and residential uses. I do want to point out that there's an unnamed 7-foot wide public right-of-way existing to our west. And yeah, so the existing building, it's, from everything I can tell, for the most part, I think there's one downspout that discharges through the curb, but the rest of them discharge at grade. There's currently no stormwater management on the property. So everything kind of sheet flows towards Summerfield Avenue, over the sidewalk, and eventually out to the street. There are 2 curb cuts, as you can see, so there's 2 along our property frontage, and then a third that is for that 7-foot wide alley. There is also across the frontage here a large slatted chain link fence with barbed wire above it. I would describe it as a bit unkempt. It's kind of disorganized paved area. You can see there's no real striping delineated. There are some dumpsters out there, some outdoor storage, vehicles.
That's the hardware store's parking lot and storage, right? That's it, is that the Asbury Park?
Yes,
Yes.
That's correct.
correct.
Parking lot and
To,
storage?
to the west, correct.
Well, that's their parking
Right,
lot
right,
and their storage.
Yes,
That
that,
possible?
yes.
I parked there the other day. That's
Okay,
there.
yeah.
So, lot going on in there, but like I said, there's not really any, designated parking areas. So what we're here tonight for is, we're seeking approval from the board to remove the existing improvements, so the existing 1-story building, the asphalt area, the shed, and construct a new 4-story mixed-use building, and asphalt parking lot with parking and retail on the first floor with residential units above. I'm going to switch over to our site rendering exhibit, A2. So across the frontage, I'll start here. We are proposing brand-new sidewalk. It's at its smallest point, 12 feet wide, so it's a minimum of 12 feet wide from the face of the building to that paver band. There is a bike rack and bench that are also proposed to match the existing streetscape throughout the CBD. As I mentioned, there were 2 existing curb cuts. We are proposing to close those. And we have 1 new curb cut proposed for access to the parking area, which, as you can see, is located for the most part underneath the building. There are a couple areas that have access to sky above.
So just to be clear, the orange is under the building, the gray is facing the sky, correct?
That's exactly right, yes. Yep. And then you can see our retail area in the northwestern corner, 2,353 square feet of retail. We did position the building on the lot with the alleyway in mind, so that 7-foot alley to our west, we're approximately 3 feet off that western property line, and that was done intentionally So the right-of-way that's associated with that alley, it's 7 feet wide. But when you look at, and I'm just gonna pull up the site plan briefly here, it's easier to see.
Just refer to the sheet. Doug,
So
maybe.
this is sheet C200, the existing conditions and site preparation plan. You can see that there's an existing fence along the property line there, which kind of aligns up well with the curb cut that exists. So it's approximately, it varies, but it's approximately 10 feet wide, you know, based on the location of that fence. And, you know, on our property, there's approximately 3 or 4 feet that are on our property. To my knowledge, there's no formal easement that exists on our property to permit that access, but we are proposing to formalize that with an access easement so that that 10-foot wide access in the alley is maintained. The alley provides access to, I'm going to go back to the existing conditions. You can see it here. There's a large paved area behind several buildings. There's a few restaurants, commercial use, possibly residential units above. And that alley provides access to the rear of those buildings on Main Street and Bangs Avenue. So at the end of the day, we're proposing to maintain that access and providing a benefit by way of a formal easement.
Who owns that?
What, the alley?
Yeah,
The city. It's a right-of-way.
okay.
Yeah.
So, once again, so the alley is 7 feet,
Yes.
and you're proposing that you're going to offset that by 3 feet?
Correct. We're providing a 3-foot wide easement parallel to the 7-foot right-of-way to provide 10 feet worth of access.
We're almost like giving the city a little road widening, right? In order just to give,
Yeah.
to give it more space
Yeah.
over there.
We're trying to maintain the functionality that's currently there.
So is it, do you mean that it's 7 foot wide on record, but it's physically 10 foot with the gate that's there now?
Yes,
Oh, so you're just gonna maintain?
exactly right. Yep.
And then codify it that legally it'll be 10 feet?
That's correct.
Right,
Yes.
so the gate is 10 feet?
Yeah, the space, I
The
would say.
space for the gate right now is 10 feet?
Yeah.
But legally, it's only 7 on the
Okay.
maps. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that fence gonna remain?
Yes. What, I'm sorry,
The fence will remain, was the question.
no. So essentially, the side of our building is going to be where that fence was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good, Doug.
So the alleyway is used for egress for the 2 buildings on Main and the one on the opposite street?
Correct, yeah. Yeah, there's,
Is it actually used, or, I mean,
it appears as though it is. You know, I've looked at a ton of different aerial imagery. I've seen vehicles back there. I would imagine it's maybe used for loading for them.
Well, there are residences there and there are stores back there. I don't know if anybody
Right.
goes into the stores via that,
Yep.
but it's not very clear that you can use that as pretty much anything, because the
No.
gate is closed and it's like, who's gonna go there?
no, but before he said it was used as an egress to the 2, on the 1, I was gonna say, we'll sell it to you, either you or the hardware store. I mean, what good does it do the city?
Well, there's a few buildings that, you can't see them all here,
I
but
mean, is it
maybe
used
if I
for
go.
secondary egress from those buildings?
I can tell you,
Required?
the businesses have used that for loading and unloading, and there are some residents who use it. I've seen cars back there.
Yeah, I mean, because I know you're never allowed to park in front of it and stuff.
No,
It's a
yeah,
sign
it's,
thing.
there
So
are
I-
some residents back there though.
Yeah, I don't know the specific uses here, but it appears to be
Okay, I'm sorry.
2 here.
No, it's okay.
They're on Main Street, another one on the corner of Main and Bangs. And then they have, you can see their buildings here, you know, have access to that paved area. You know, there's space back there.
Our point was just, we weren't changing it or changing anybody's condition, that's all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. So in terms of the building, the building's 4 stories with retail in the northwestern portion of the ground floor. The remainder of the ground floor is going to be dedicated to parking, a trash room, a bike room, a lobby, 2 sets of stairs. There is also a basement proposed underneath the retail component, which will contain amenities, a gym, a business center, storage units, and utilities. Floors 2 through 4 above will contain the residential units. And obviously, our architect will speak to the building in much greater detail than I did. In terms of utilities, we are proposing all new underground utilities for the building that are available within Summerfield Avenue for sanitary sewer, water, electric, gas, and cable TV and internet. There is a utility room that will be located in the basement. Electric and gas meters will be screened from view, located within the basement if possible, or obviously it's, we have to get some buy-in from the utility companies, but
When you say basement, you don't mean below grade. You mean,
yes,
you're actually excavating?
yes,
Can be below the sidewalk when you say basement?
yes,
Okay.
there is a portion, so,
Can we see that? Because I didn't see anything having to do with the
We
basement.
don't have it.
yeah, the architect will definitely speak to it more, but I can kind of highlight it for you here on the plan. So this is that retail area. If I'm to strike a line from the east side of the lobby, coming straight down, you can see this dashed line here that represents basement below this area. And then that comes over, and then eventually follows that retail
Yeah,
area.
and I was going to have the architect go through all the floor plans so
So
you
the
can see.
floor plans will be,
100%, you'll see them all.
okay,
Yes.
all right.
Go ahead, Don.
Yep, so obviously pending final confirmation with the utility companies, or there is some space within the garage that we can utilize for metering. Stormwater management, we are, by the city's definition, neither a major or a minor development. So by ordinance requirements, there's no on-site detention required. But however, we are proposing to improve drainage on the property in a few ways. So in the existing condition, as I mentioned, most of that building runoff, that L-shaped one-story building, discharges at grade and then flows over this large asphalt area where it joins up with the rest of the stormwater generated from that asphalt area and eventually over the sidewalk and into Summerfield Avenue. In the proposed condition, we are discharging all of the roof leaders directly to the Summerfield Avenue gutter through a series of underground pipes, which will help keep runoff off the sidewalk and will ultimately be captured by an existing inlet to our west near Main Street. So in the cold winter time, this will help keep the sidewalk free of ice in the colder months. And also, one of the components of stormwater that we always consider is stormwater quality, which we are greatly reducing the motor vehicle surface on the property, which provides a stormwater quality benefit by reducing the amount of potential pollutants in that runoff. In terms of parking,
Hey, Doug, real quick. I'm sorry.
Yes.
So for stormwater, have you all looked into consolidating those discharges? And the reason I bring it up to the board is because what's being proposed are 7 4-inch lines that are going to the curb. So what you'll get is a heavy rain event. To Doug's point, right now everything's sheeting, so no increase of water is gonna be percolating. So what's happening is you have those 7, Doug, you want to show them? There's 7
Yeah.
lines. Those are 7 discharges. The idea, and it's not my, I can't design it, but my thought process, I'll say, is to consolidate some of those, whether it to be a catch basin or something else, just to kind of minimize the discharges that are going out to the curb right now.
yeah, so the reason that we have the design that we have currently was for the fact that we were able to utilize a 4-inch pipe that, has only so much capacity, right? If you can imagine a small 4-inch pipe, and we're also, up against a 6-inch curb. We want to provide enough cover when that pipe penetrates the face of the curb. You've got about 2 inches above it that can be reinforced for longevity. We want that curb to last. So, based on the capacity of the 4-inch pipe and the size of the roof area, that's why there's so many, basically, is to spread it out.
Well, my thought process wasn't to increase the 4-inch, and again, like it's ultimately design is you, right?
Yep,
The idea,
Let's
at least
say-
in my mind, was to consolidate, go to like, let's say a catch basin with a sump,
yep,
bubble it out. Now you have one area of discharge instead of 7. Again, ultimately, it's up to the board and your all thought process, but right now what you're getting is 7, I don't wanna call them hoses, but 7 pipes that could be discharging at any given time, shooting against the curb. To Doug's point, it's gonna collect all the water, or discharge all the water. I just didn't know if there's a possibility of minimizing the 7.
We would be open to that, absolutely. It would require, say, a bubbler inlet
Right.
within Summerfield Avenue that would have some storage capacity. And then when that reaches capacity, it would come up out of the inlet and then flow with the rest of the stormwater to that same inlet over by Main Street.
So that means you would have to build something in the city right of way?
Yeah, we would build a typical B
Catch
inlet,
basin.
yeah, with a curb piece on it, yep.
Okay. We can look into that.
Perfect.
Okay.
Is there a storm sewer in Summerfield?
There's not, only, the closest one is,
You do have one on the right, it might be in the right of way, but right on the corner of Summerfield and Main.
Yep.
If you keep going to the left.
oh, here we go.
Yeah, there's one
It's
right
right
there.
about here.
Yep, exactly.
Is the storm sewer on Main capable of,
That's
taking the
also
runoff?
State.
if,
Yeah, it's state, so I think it would be hard to have, to put that burden on them, to connect to that.
that's not an option then?
Anything's possible, you know, but.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's a
let's be
big-
practical.
Right, it's a big burden.
How does, like, if they had to build something in the street, like, does that complicate matters with, like, future maintenance of it or whatever?
No, so what you're gonna have is another catch basin or 2, or whatever it is that are there. Now, it's not gonna be, currently, it's not gonna be connected to the infrastructure of the city, but just to reiterate what Doug was just saying, what's gonna happen is think of like a dry well or like a bucket. It's gonna keep filling up, and it's gonna fill up, and it's gonna fill up, and eventually it's gonna bubble, that's what the bubbler is, eventually it's gonna bubble and sheet flow down your road. Now, the idea is, and again, it's up to you all, the idea is now you'll have one area of discharge instead of 7. So you tell Doug or myself, hey, we're not interested, we're fine with the 7.
Well, what does it look at this, what does it look like at this?
It's gonna look like a regular catch basin.
Oh, so it's like a
Curb,
grate,
curb
it's
piece, a
like-
grate, bicycle safe inlet, yeah, a grate, yes.
But I'm saying, does it have to be maintained over the years and stuff
Yeah,
like that?
it'll have to be maintained over the
So
years.
there's a plot, so who maintains it then?
That'd have to be the city, you know,
The
it's
city?
not gonna be, yeah. And
I will say, it does provide the opportunity in the future if the city were to, invest in some public infrastructure there, that they could potentially
Use, yeah.
connect to it, to bring it into, with everything else, all the other inlets in the area. Currently, it wouldn't be connected to anything, but in the future, if there were storm sewer improvements, it could be connected with the rest of the inlets in
Well,
the
it'd have to be
city.
expanded, right? Because I assume you would only build it.
No, not necessarily,
No?
no, yeah, so it's really, forgive me, Doug, for still.
No, you're
Really,
good.
like, your infrastructure of the city doesn't necessarily rely on the invert, like your depth of grade, it's just to connect piping. So in this instance, it's to connect piping, now you'll have a orifice on Summerfield that'll then discharge. You could theoretically, if it's a 4-foot, 5-foot invert, you could connect almost any size pipe up to, 24 at least.
So does this slow down the process of getting the water into the street?
No, it doesn't slow down to get, well, so to get into the street, what it's gonna do is it's gonna catch, and then instead of seeing the 7 discharges, now you're collecting. So a smaller storm event, you won't see it.
You
on
won't
your
see it at
gutter.
all?
I just do want to preface, on a heavy storm event, it will most likely bubble up, and you still will see sheet flow.
Right, because I'm just concerned about whether your proposed process will slow things down a little bit to give, because in any storm event, we want things to be a little slower.
Right.
So that,
Exactly.
so it's just a question of whether that's an appropriate
So, yes.
solution for here.
So to answer you, yes, so it depends on the storm and the size of the structure, but if it's a traditional size inlet, it will slow your yearly storm.
And which watershed are we going to?
This is going to.
Is this to Sunset?
Deal Lake. It goes to Deal Lake.
This goes to Deal Lake. I mean, I don't know how everybody else feels about that, but anything to slow down water coming into the streets is, it's a positive as far as I'm concerned, but
Full
I'd like us to
transparency
take a
too,
look at
aside
that.
from, in my opinion, it's a stormwater benefit, but now you're also gonna have 7
Penetrations.
Yeah, penetration, so like, let's say the city comes down and does the curb, now they're doing the curb, but let's say 20 years from now, if they do it, it's just another burden, to be honest.
To do the 7,
Right.
and as opposed to 1.
Well, yeah, and because, again, I don't mean. now we're talking about
Understood.
construction. Yeah, so now like what you have is you have your curb piece, and there'll be expansion joints on each side. If you're doing that construction, you just knock them out and then.
So you're saying the proposed is better for future modification than if you have to?
No,
No.
what I was saying is
No,
like
it's
if they were
worse.
to not have 7 pipes
Yeah.
breaking through the
Yep.
curb, it would be better for future.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
If you
correct.
don't have the 7, if you
Correct.
have this
Yes,
bubbling
Yep.
catch basin, it's better.
So we're basically consolidating the pipes into that bubble, which you think
Yes.
is a better alternative.
I do, yes.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay, go ahead.
Okay. I want to talk about parking, so
Publish?
But I assume they'd have to get an easement then?
No,
They'd have to get an easement from the city and all of that?
No, it's the same as what we're doing.
You want to go over the parking, Doug?
yes. So we're proposing 27 full-size parking spaces, including 2 ADA. The ADA here I'm circling with my mouse. Within the garage, so it's compliant with the ADA guidelines. And the parking spaces will be for the use of the residents of the building. The retail component does not have a parking requirement as it's less than 10,000 square feet. And the remaining required parking will be made by way of a contribution to the calculated parking impact fee to a fund dedicated to provide parking in the CBD as is permitted by your ordinance. We're proposing a number of electric vehicle spaces in accordance with the state regulations. You can see those, the car with the plug symbol, counting them 6. We have 8 of those proposed. And I know this is just a technicality, so the 45 parking space requirement, which is 1.5 spaces per unit, is reduced to 40 by the electric vehicle standards, but just putting it out there as a technicality. Access to that garage is through a 2-way full movement driveway.
I'm sorry, we didn't, you didn't wrap up the calculation. So how much goes into the parking fund?
Thank you.
Because you
So,
gave us a lot of numbers, but didn't give us the punchline.
So we're oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
So 45 parking spaces are required, which is reduced to 40 spaces by the electric vehicle. We are proposing 27, so there is a 13 space deficiency on our property.
Yeah, we'd have to pay for the 13 spots that were short.
You did say that your development was reducing the amount of cars on the site, so I've never seen 27 cars.
Vehicle surface area.
Oh, no, he just meant the parking area that's exposed to the sky.
So they-
Just for stormwater. That was a stormwater comment, not a traffic or parking comment. Yeah,
Yes.
no-
Yeah, and Doug, I'll get all my comments out early tonight. So I just want to make the board aware, the proposal is 27 parking spaces, which includes the ADA, which is fine, but there's 30 units. So has it been discussed how and who gets those spaces? And the 3 that are left out?
So I think for our traffic engineer is going to talk about that
Understood.
in some regard. But yes, there will be the access to the train station, which is about a block and a half away, is going to be considered. So, we are technically 3 short of providing 1 per unit. So, given that the train facility is nearby, not everyone's going to have a car. We do feel that the demand is there for, for
Yeah.
people without vehicles to be able to
And that's a
have a
metered
unit.
street, is it not?
Yes.
And so
Yes.
like, do we have a permit process on that street though, too?
No,
No.
no.
No?
Wait, you mean like permits, park permits?
In other words,
Resident,
that's a
yeah,
metered street,
and
right?
resident permits and parking, and employee permits can park there.
There is a permit thing,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and I was gonna have the traffic engineer go through the parking and the number.
Can I just go back to what you said about the train? What does the proximity of the train have to do with?
The traffic engineer will get more into that, but the point,
Right.
yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
The point was just to preview what the traffic engineer is
Okay.
gonna go over, is just the proximity of the train station would result in maybe not every unit having a vehicle.
And I'm hoping he's going to also discuss that the requirement is 1.5, not 1.
That is true.
So I'm sure there'll be discussions about not just needing 3 more. You're needing a
Understood.
lot more.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, I look forward to it.
Okay.
All right, Doug.
So I do want to talk about how refuse will be handled. So it will be handled by a private carting service, and it will occur within the alley that was mentioned before. So there's a 7-foot wide alley, 3 feet additional that we're dedicating to access via an easement. Our trash room is located in the southwestern corner here. It has an overhead door on it. And refuse pickup, it'll be under the supervision of the building manager. And there's really 2 options for pickup. The truck can pull up to the alley curb cut in the street where the trash will be ready to go and be wheeled out to the vehicle, the truck that is picking up the garbage. Or alternatively, that trash vehicle can back into the alley and pull up much closer to the trash room, load the truck, and pull out head-on onto Summerfield Avenue. Move-ins and move-outs will occur by either of those 2 options as well, with a third option being finding an available parking space, or if there's a smaller van, people may, make multiple trips. Obviously, they can utilize the parking space in the garage as well. That'll all be coordinated by the building management. I'm gonna talk about lighting for a minute here. So I'll pull up our lighting plan, which is sheet C601 on the site plan that was submitted. So our lighting design consists of wall-mounted LED lights for the driveway, the alley, and the sidewalk along our frontage, with lighting inside the garage as well. All the proposed exterior lights are on the exterior of the building. They're fully shielded, they're dark sky friendly. They all are 2700K to comply with the ordinance. I think in Sam's letter there was a typo on our plan, but they all are 2700K. We also are not proposing any spillage onto the adjoining properties.
But there's a development, there's a small sliver piece that we approved that's on the block heading. That backs up to your parking, right?
Yep.
And so what, they will be looking over into the parking area at night?
Yeah, you're talking about
I mean, if you go
Lot
back.
5?
No, I'm talking about where, to the west. I see you've designed the building so you don't have, because I believe here we have no rear yard setback, it's only 5 foot, and that became an issue with the other one. What is it, was it Bangs on the next street?
Yeah, Bangs is on the other side.
So Bangs on the other side, we talked about that because they were going 5 foot to the rear yard, to the rear lot line, and then we knew this was gonna be a development site too. So I know you designed your building where you're not, have your building wall butt up to theirs.
Right.
But their building wall will be overlooking
The uncovered part of the parking lot,
part
yes.
of the parking lot.
The uncovered part, right?
The uncovered part,
Yes.
okay. I don't know. Is that light spillage into the adjoining building?
Well,
They
they're
have
saying they're mounting the light at
Yeah.
10 feet above the ground, and that would be less than the height of the ground floor
They're also-
in 7-Eleven Bangs, because that's the retail, so the first habitable level will be above 10 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, and everything's downward directed. We also do have a fence that we're proposing around the perimeter of the parking area. It was one of the comments, I believe, to make that a solid material, which we would have no issue complying with. That'll also help with any light encroachment onto that adjacent property. So we have no issues complying with that recommendation.
That would be 42 inches, I think is what was in Donna's.
A minimum of 42, yes.
So are you testifying that there is no spillage onto any place that is not on your building?
Well, I should clarify, no adjoining private property. We do have, so we have lights across the frontage, so there are a couple of street lights on Summerfield Avenue, Cobra Head lights that are maybe one or two, right? So we are intending to light the sidewalk using the building mounted lights in the front. Sorry, excuse me. And then also that public alley, we have 3 building mounted lights that we're proposing to light that alley with, knowing that it is used by the public as well. So it's all for safety purposes to enhance visibility. That's the only light spillage that we're proposing is into public right of way.
Right, so just to answer the chair's question perfectly, right?
Yep.
As to private properties that abut us, we're not spilling over into private properties, correct?
Correct.
As to the public right-of-way on Summerfield and to the alley, there'll be cut-off fixtures proposed there for security lighting purposes and just to properly and safely light up the sidewalk and the alley.
That's correct, yeah.
Right, because if you look at this, I don't know, I mean, lighting
What-
people would know better than I.
What sheet are you looking at, Matt? The lighting plan?
Yeah, on the lighting plan, when you're
Okay.
talking about things like 17.7, 17.3, I mean, you guys would know better than I. Is that a lot? That's a lot.
Where is that? Oh, I see that, yeah.
You know, if you look on the Summerfield part, I see 18. Am I not seeing this right, or is it 16? 18.4 in the corner, on the corner of the lot.
That's 16.4.
Is that 16.4?
We,
But you got 17.7
there.
right there, too.
Yeah, 17.7 in the center.
Yeah, we can adjust the lighting in the right-of-way to the satisfaction of your board professionals. That
Yeah,
would,
we recognize there's a couple hot spots, we call them, and it's just based on the nature of that light. So we can swap it out, utilize a different fixture, something that spreads the light out a little more for more uniformity. No problem with that.
What about the parking spots that are open to the air, the back of the building? Are those lights going to be visible to the residents that are living behind you?
So they're mounted 10 feet above the ground level. As Donna mentioned, that'll be, the first floor of those buildings that are adjacent to us, approximately 10 feet tall. So any residential units above those would be looking down at the light, which is fully cut off, fully shielded, so they wouldn't see the source of the light.
They just see the light, they won't see the source of the
They'll
light.
just see a whole lit parking lot.
Right.
I thought I read in one of the reports that the block had one Cobra light, and it was up to the city engineer if you needed another one,
There's one Cobra Head fixture on
for the entire
Summerfield,
block.
just west of the alley, on the other side of Summerfield.
And for the record, we're not opposed to installing streetlights. We had a conversation with Michelle Alonso before coming to the board. She recommended not to put streetlights in, so we followed that guidance.
Whatever.
But we're flexible.
Did she give a reason why not to put
I
streetlights?
think because there's just a general lack of them on the street.
And the city has to pay for it.
Do what?
The city has to pay for lighting them.
No, we'll turn down the project and they'll pay for the lights. Yeah, that's easy, I mean.
Right.
So, did she say, okay, don't go through JCP&L and put in another Cobra light, but put in some decorative lights or something at the curb line? I don't mean decorative, like, something
No,
that actually
she-
lights the street? I mean, is it gonna be dark?
No, and that's why we have the building mounted lights across the frontage to light that sidewalk.
But if they're gonna be that bright and go across the street, I don't know, from what everybody's saying.
No, so those
Yeah,
hot spots,
hotspots.
they're directly below the light, so the source of the light is about 8 feet in the air. And if you were to look directly on the ground below, that sidewalk will be bright.
yeah,
But if you were to go
if you go.
5, 10 feet,
Doug, go to, zoom in on the sidewalk. I
Yeah,
think-
by the time you get to the
Where is that
sidewalk, it's a
measurement?
.1.
Where is that measurement at? Is that on the sidewalk?
that's on the ground, yes.
It's on the ground.
Yeah, so I just thought this would be easier. So right underneath those black, those are the fixtures, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So under those fixtures, you see what the chair was saying earlier, the higher number, like the 17 point whatever, the 16 point whatever. That's where you have the highest, because it's actually under the light. You can't see the light because it's cut off, correct?
Correct.
But that's where it's the brightest. But as you get to the curb line, so go, I guess that's north to the curb line, then it goes off to about 0.1 and 0,
Which
correct?
is what we want. We
Right,
want it
right.
to be
So no, the
low.
mayor had asked if you were gonna see
Yes.
it from across the street, so I just wanna be clear that the spillage goes to 0 by the time you get to the curb line.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Right, which is the point of why we would want street lighting, because the part of the sidewalk that's public and people are using, where the benches, where the
Okay.
bike racks are, it's dark, there's no light, because that one street light down the block can't reach this far, and the lights on the building don't extend into the sidewalk area very far.
Yeah, like Doug said,
So it's a trade-off of, do you
Defer to the
want
board.
the building mounting lighted to span the full sidewalk, or do we want to get a street light to take over, to light the street more?
You mean like in the paved,
In the sidewalk area.
in the sidewalk area?
right, you'd have to
Like
have,
we have in other parts of the
Well, right,
CBD
yeah,
and the
right
waterfront.
down the waterfront,
Yeah.
yeah.
we would defer to the board on what they felt was the
And
most
Memorial
appropriate.
Drive and everywhere.
We could use a fixture that is more forward throw that covers the entire sidewalk, and by the time you get to the curb, it, you know, like was talked about, it starts heading towards 0, but something that does cast more light out away from the building, or we can use the street light, but we
Yeah,
are,
So the thing is, if we put them in that paved area, those light posts, decorative light posts, we would pay the electricity, yes? The
Yes,
city, yes, okay. But if they put them on the building, they pay,
yes,
okay.
But-
Well, that's debatable.
as long as they keep them on,
What?
as long as they leave the lights on, yeah,
No,
they
I
pay.
mean,
No, he's talking about
debatable who would
streetlight.
pay for a new streetlight.
No, to light the streetlights.
Yeah, we would,
We'll pay to maintain the streetlight, because we pay for them even when they're out. But I don't know if the city's liability is put in a new streetlight for their property.
no, you're correct, Mayor. We would buy the fixture.
And pay JCP&L to put in a pole.
Correct.
And a coat.
Th- th-
Okay,
That's correct. Then, once the light goes on, then it becomes, right,
got it.
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
Thank you.
yes.
So I
Donna,
don't,
what do you think? It was your comment.
Well, the CBD plan says put in new streetlights. So, that's what I'm saying, that's what the CBD plan says.
Like I said, we defer to the board, what you feel
I
is
don't
most
recall
appropriate.
us asking in other applications for them to put in lights, because most of them are taken care of by the master developer on the waterfront, so
That's in
they're
the
taking
water.
care of those.
Right.
Now, these, I don't recall us ever asking
We have to do like 2, 3, or 4.
for a street light.
On applications where we've had it on Cookman,
Yeah,
there's already streetlights.
correct.
And
So
on
we
Lake,
haven't had to.
And Lake, they're already
they're
there.
already there.
Right.
Then it wouldn't be a bad idea for us to ask for that. I mean, if that's okay with the board, I mean, how do they feel?
Where
To
it's
ask-
where it's needed.
Yeah, where it's needed, and I think that with a building this size, it's needed.
Okay, so we would add those street lights and then redesign, I guess, the building mounted lights
I
to,
think you ought to add, I think one would be sufficient.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
one would be sufficient.
Whatever it is,
Okay.
we gotta figure out
Yeah.
what it is
I
so that it
believe
gets
your
uniform
report
lighting.
said there should be 2, right?
It depends on the height and the throw, we
Yeah.
gotta model it.
So why don't we just say that something should be there, and then you guys can model it.
okay. That's fine. Okay, we'll work with your team on making sure that that we get it right.
Thank you.
Right, and you'd have to obviously agree on what that streetlight looks like, because,
Do you have a fixture? You have a fixture, I'm assuming, right?
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, go ahead,
Sorry,
Doug.
Doug, there's something that I'm really struggling with. When you started mentioning about the trash being sent out on that 3-foot wide alleyway,
10-foot wide.
10 foot.
well, okay, but this easement thing, I'm missing it. I'm missing the idea, because are we saying that 3-foot is an easement to the city?
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
is
Yeah,
it,
let me just-
well, the city doesn't care if you have 3 feet to take your trash out or not.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
No, so the easement is to grant so that there's 10-foot full width of access.
Which they need anyway to take their trash out.
They really don't.
Well, where would they put it? Where would it go?
They could come out their garage opening.
Right.
Okay, so you'd come out, you'd go through the garage and go out the garage door?
What they're doing is honoring the existing
10-foot
traveled
width.
width that everybody's using now.
Okay,
So that's why they're making it 10.
okay.
And it's more functional as 10 rather than 7.
It is more functional, but when we're talking about, hate to go there, but when you're talking about a tax base, are those 3 feet in your clients? Or are you giving it to the city?
No, they're saying it's an easement, so they still own the property. So
They
they're
still
paying
own the property no
taxes on
matter
it.
what?
Yeah,
The 3 feet?
yeah.
Okay, all right,
Unless
sorry.
you want them to dedicate it.
No, I'm just trying to understand,
No, that's okay.
all.
No, that's okay.
I'm just trying to
sell it
understand.
them.
Hey, if you want to vacate it,
The only thing that scares me is when James says he sees people parking their cars there. So people are parking their cars there, how's the garbage truck gonna get down?
No, the cars, I believe, are parking in the back.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a wide area.
In that
back
easement?
there.
Yeah, like it goes down the alley and.
Yeah, you can see in the aerial photos, there's cars
Oh,
parked in
okay,
the back
okay.
there.
Yeah, they're back
But
there.
is that the only access to that parking, is the
yeah.
To those spots, I believe that that's correct.
So
Yeah.
does the city have any park, on that alley portion, does the city have any parking regulations?
No, this is
Existing.
an alleyway to private property.
Right, but it's the city's property, right? So now, if we don't want cars to park there, I mean, should we have no parking signs?
In the back behind these buildings?
No, on that alleyway
Oh.
proper.
Yeah, you can put up signs for no parking on
Yeah,
that. They
that's
shouldn't,
what I'm
they're not parking there now, but, yeah, we can put up signs
But
for that.
you never know, right?
Yeah, you could, the city could do that. It could regulate
You
that.
never know,
Sure.
right? Once they build the building, people say,
Mm-hmm.
look at this nice driveway I have.
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I think the reason it says unnamed alleyway, because nobody knew we owned it.
Yeah, it-
I've plowed the streets for 31 years, I never plowed that alleyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's on the tax map. It's unusual, but it is on the tax map, yeah.
Well, yeah, because Vacaro's probably clearing it as part of the parking
right,
lot.
absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do we actually own it in fee, or do we just have it, is it just a?
No, it's on the,
easement on it?
it's on the tax maps as
Owned
public
by the
right of
state,
way,
yeah.
yeah.
Landscaping, short and sweet, we're proposing 4 American sycamore street trees along Summerfield Avenue. We will comply with the recommendations from the board planner in terms of some of the details and notations on those, and get Shade Tree Commission approval.
Can I ask something about that real quick?
Yes.
I know you said approval, but would you be open to changing species if the Shade Tree Commission asked?
Sure. Yes, absolutely.
I know that we're trying to diversify and get away from London.
Okay, yep.
I will touch briefly on signage. Our architect will talk more about it, but we are proposing to comply with the ordinance requirements, which Jim can talk about more. And then I think that's pretty much it. I will, in terms of outside agencies here, we are going to require Freehold Soil Conservation District certification, approval of our sanitary sewer connection from city engineering, a letter of no interest from the Monmouth County Planning Board, and then I do have, I can, up to the board, I can go through the comments from Sam's letter, if that makes sense for everybody.
We touched on most of
Yeah, I mean, we could just say you're
Yeah.
willing to comply with anything that's outstanding?
That's correct, we will.
But we can go through them if you want us to.
No, I mean, if Sam's okay with it,
Doug's, Doug's.
unless somebody else has a question. Okay.
Okay, that's what you got, right?
I just want to be clear,
Sure.
you know, I don't think I ever swore you guys in,
did.
so.
do
Swear or
it now?
affirm that the testimony that you're going to provide? You only ask questions.
Before and after, yes,
The testimony you may provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
So I just want to confirm, there's a discrepancy in the reports about whether it's 41 spaces or 40 spaces, and how many credits you get with the EV,
So it's 45 spaces needed,
right?
and they got 7 spaces credited.
So Doug testified that there's 8 spaces though, right?
Yeah, but they only get
So
credit.
you're allowed a maximum of 10% reduction, which is 4.5. And my understanding, I guess it's up for interpretation, but my understanding was that when you have a fractional space, it gets rounded up to 5.
Are you in agreement with
Yeah,
that?
that's fine.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Thanks.
But wait a minute. Are you saying that you're using 45 as your number
That is
to use the
requirement.
credit?
No,
Requirement
No,
is
your credit is
45.
based upon the 45.
But you're not providing 45.
that's it.
You're providing 27.
It's a mechanism to reduce the requirement.
Right.
Okay.
So
They
in
reduce-
essence, what you're doing is, the requirement's 45 straight across the ordinance. The statute and the EV requirements say that you get a credit of 10% of that, which reduces the requirement. You still don't meet the requirement, yes, but the question I had is, in one report it said 41, in
Okay.
another report it said 40, and Doug testified 40. So I just wanted to be clear that 40 is the requirement with the credit.
Because we're rounding up,
Round-
4.5 is
round
5,
up around.
45 minus 5 is 40.
So the EV credit, how many do you have to, so I understand that, you get 10%, right? But how many EVs do you have to put to get a credit?
15%
You have to do
15% minimum.
15% is what you have to do.
of the
15%.
required, which is the 45.
15% of the 45.
Correct.
And then you get a 10% credit on the top number, on the 45.
Yeah, the 10%'s
Exactly.
capped. You can't get more than that much of a credit.
And I think technically it's down, rounded down.
That's what we rounded down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
mean, I think by the statute it is rounded.
That's how I want
Yeah.
it.
We don't,
Well, if it's rounded down, then it's 41.
Right, exactly, so I'll leave it, yeah, so there's clearly, interpreting differently. I also was rounded down.
Yeah, well, yeah, because the state is reviewing right now and it's currently rounding down.
that means they're gonna pay for 14.
Correct.
Correct.
That's why I want the number to be clear.
Or 50,000 a spot, each one makes a big difference.
Rounded down.
Okay, I think that's all we have on
All set?
direct, but we're happy to answer any questions. Any other questions?
Anybody have any planning board members have any questions, or planners, or professionals, I'm sorry? Okay, we'd like to open it to the public. Does the public have any questions of this witness, of what they testified to in the past 45 or so minutes? Okay? All right, Jeff?
Hi, Stephen Rook, 707 Bangs Ave, Unit 301.
So just to be clear, this is not to provide a statement, it's only questions of the engineer.
Understood.
Okay.
So in your drawings, I would just like to note that the drainage under the sidewalk that was brought up earlier, I don't see a detail for that. I don't know if it's going through the sidewalk or up and under and bubbling up. But I would side with the town engineer and say that the bubbler and the culvert inlet on the street would be preferred, in my opinion, because
Well,
I've seen other.
Let me stop you there. This is not time for
Okay, sorry.
comments, you have to ask questions.
All right. Do you see a detriment to the sidewalk with the current proposed drainage due to other sidewalks in Asbury where those drainage pipes tend to have the sidewalks crack and break because of thin cover over the pipes?
So we do understand the concern, which is why we agreed to install the inlet as the board engineer suggested.
Okay, agreed. The second concern I have is on the foundation. Maybe this isn't known at the time, or this is maybe directed towards the architect when he speaks. What is the construction method of the basement portion of the building? Will sheet piling be used to reinforce while the basement is being constructed?
Yeah, I think that's obviously more of a construction issue than a site plan, but if you want to ask it, that would be more for the architect. I think they would answer that question better.
All right. And then finally, this may be for the architect as well, but on the lighting note, will lighting be, rooftop lighting, is that addressed by you or the architect?
Yeah, the lighting is on the lighting on the roof plan would be on the architectural plans, I believe. But Doug, do you have any, can you comment on that, or you want Jim to?
Yeah, we are proposing very minimal lighting on the roof.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen that yet.
The review letter stated there was no lighting.
Yeah, so any rooftop lighting, it's intended to be very low-level landscape lighting, with the only fixture being, and Jim, correct me if I'm wrong, but on the doorway, above the doorway, for safety purposes, that'll be downward directed.
All right, so when the architect testifies, they should show us
We'll address that.
this lighting.
Yeah, we'll address that.
Okay,
Okay, I would appreciate that.
all right, all right. Who's up next?
Okay, thank you. All right, the next one is I'd like to call is James Montefort, our architect, so we should swear him in. Thanks. Oh, you want to set it up for him? Yeah.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And if you could just state your name and spell your last name for the record, please.
Yes. James J. Montefort, Montefort.
All right, and I'll-
You wanna
Yeah, sure.
forward it?
James, can you just give the board the benefit of your educational background, license, whether it's current and good standing, and your experience testifying before similar boards?
Okay, well, I'm a graduate of New Jersey Institute of Technology. I've been licensed since 1992. I've had my firm approximately about the same amount of time. I'm a member of the NCRB, the AIA. I hold, my license is good in 5 states. I do multifamily dwellings. It's kind of like became my specialty all over the state of New Jersey.
Okay, and your license is current and in good standing?
Yes.
Would the board accept him? Thank you so much. Okay. So Jim, I leave it to you, but would you walk the board, let's walk the board through the elevations and maybe, through the floor plans and start, let's just make sure we just bring up the sheet. Doug, I think we need your help.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
I knew this was going to happen to
This
me.
is connected.
It's a full moon. I drove in, I saw it.
Do you have the?
I have boards.
It's back up now, but I don't know if something's.
Oh, there it is. Oh, there it goes.
I think your binder there is hitting that cable, and I think it puts
Yeah, all right,
something
just,
out of whack. There you go, so it's working now.
all right, let's see if if you can move it now.
You're good.
Good call.
Okay. So this is our cover sheet on the architectural plans, which you have. It's not an exhibit. What this is it shows our building. It's a 4-story building. It's 36,000 square feet of habitable space. 6,678 square feet of it is covered parking. And then there's a 3,900 square foot finished roof deck area for the tenants. There's 30 units, as mentioned before. There's 18 two-bedroom units and 12 one-bedroom units. And I'm going to skip past the rendering right now because I know the board is very concerned about architecture, and I'm going to run you through the plans.
Just refer to the sheet that you're on while you're going through it, Jim.
So this is a 101, which is the ground level plan. All right, so the way this building functions is the retail is on the westerly portion, and I put that there to get it as close to Main Street as I possibly can and try and get visibility from Main Street. And then in the center of the building, I put the residential entrance, which is highlighted up the building. And then to the easterly side is where our garage entrance is, and it has panels on both sides. It's a decorative garage door. It has like a slat, and then it has a piece of glass and a slat. So the garage door rolls up, and then the 2 side panels are identical, so it kind of looks like a seamless front, and you don't really know which one is the garage door and which one's not. Our parking is...
So with the garage doors, in other words, the slats are...
I haven't...
Alternate, there's glass in between?
Yeah, it's glass and metal strip. There's...
The garage door itself?
Yeah, you might...
So if it's lit from inside, does that light come through the glass?
Yes. Yes, it would.
That won't work.
Huh?
Just saying,
What?
that won't work for us.
Okay. Well,
Just saying, because we would like it to either,
I
it
can
has to
make it
either be
frosted
frosted, or we cannot have clear glass
Well, it could be
on
frosted.
garage door.
I believe they can do it in frosted glass. So
That'll have to happen.
Okay.
Let me just say that. We
Perfect.
have had that
Otherwise,
in
no
the
man's land.
CBD. We see it now, and we realize.
No, I understand you being, I appreciate you being direct about the comments, so we could just deal
That's
with
fine,
it.
we'll
Yeah,
just,
great.
thank you.
So here's that section of the building, just so you can see it. And then, by the way, these are the down lights that are on the side of the building. So
They're basically metal to match the building, and you really don't see any light source. It goes down, and you can see why the source is so heavy at the bottom of the building, because it's shining straight down.
Yeah, because, again, if that's clear glass and it's lit from behind, you will see, I mean, it'll look like stripes, right?
Right, that's the idea.
Unless you make it dark glass.
No, I don't want to do that.
Okay, fine. You're the architect.
So go back to the go back to the first floor plan, so finish there.
I actually have a picture of it. So, hold on. Doug, help.
Hand.
I'm trying to recenter.
Double click this.
I have, yeah, I know, okay. Sorry, everybody. I just got this program, so I'm learning how to use it, and it's different than Adobe. So what we have down here is we have our 2 stairwells that flank each side of the building, and then elevators in the center, which is for the tenants only. The garage wraps around, and then there's a person door that takes you into the trash enclosure. There's 2 8-yard dumpsters in there, one's for recycles, one's for trash. Should be picked up once a week, should be fine. There's an overhead door that would roll up, they could pull in, and we'll slide the dumpsters out, pick them up and go. I'm assuming that, the management's gonna take care of this, but the recycles would go one day and the trash would go a different day.
So the tenants bring the trash down to the trash room?
Yes, I just want to point out that this is a condominium building, it's not an apartment building.
It's not a rental?
It's not a rental.
So these are condos.
Fully owned building.
Yeah, that's the intent of the developer.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we will get to the park, because that was a question, who gets what space? So I assume the spaces will be sold.
I think that's a good assumption, and I haven't really spoken to the owners, but they think that this parking works for them. They probably would sell the 2 bedrooms.
The residents or the developer?
Well, if the developer's got to sell it. If he can't sell it, then what good is the building?
Yeah, the last 3 people.
Yeah, so I would assume
No parking
that
for you.
the 2 bedrooms get a space, right? So that's 18, and then the other spaces would be sold to the 1 bedrooms.
Is that for sure, or is
Well,
that
I'm not the owner, so I can't really say. I'm just offering you what I think could happen. I can't really answer it, maybe the traffic guy can answer.
And well, you don't know, so I mean, if I would ask, then would they be deeded spots, or would they be licensed?
Usually the spaces for a condo would be deeded to the unit owners, to the unit specifically.
Well,
Yeah. They wouldn't be sold elsewhere.
I do this in New York.
Yeah.
The deeded and the licensed. Actually,
Yeah.
the licensed more than the deeded.
Here usually they're deeded.
Yes.
That's how they've been done in other condo buildings I have.
Right.
You own the parking space.
Okay.
So this heavy dotted line is where the building is above. So this is the part that's just hovering over the parking lot. Then as Doug said, we're gonna propose a solid wood fence around the parking area itself to shield any lighting from the neighboring units. Unfortunately, I couldn't really see what's back there because it's hidden by other buildings right now. You can't really get back there. The only spot that I'm at 0 lot line is where I back up to this building next to us. That's to our east. And in that section is where I have split face, rock face block being put up, because it's a 1-piece function, installation that can be done side by side. And that's why when you look at the elevations, there's some block shown, but you can't really see it from anywhere.
So that portion of the exterior wall, of course, will have no fenestration, right?
No
And it's
fenestration.
not blocking, and it's not backing up. It's backing up to solid wall on
Yes,
the other building.
that's
as well,
correct.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. And then it goes to the stairwell, and then after the stairwell, the wall's gone. You see the stairwell right there? Right after the stairwell, the wall comes back down, and then it's open after the stairwell.
Right.
And then we have a bike room that has 16 bicycles in it. And then there's a stair here that actually goes down to the basement, and then the elevator also goes down to the basement. So I'm going to show you the basement level, so I can choose the page. So on this sheet, got a pad over here. This is where our basement is.
I'm sorry, what sheet are we on?
This is A102, A103, sorry. My bad. A103. So in the basement, we have a elevator lobby, which you come down into from the elevator, there's a
Could you go
bathroom.
back to 102, where is the basement, where is it like under 102? Where do we see it?
Here, can't let me, all right, hold on, I'm gonna try.
It's under the retail.
Yeah, it's under the retail and under a couple of.
Yeah, where you see the elevator corridor there.
Okay. thank
Here it
you.
is right here. So see this gray area? This is the only spot that goes beyond the actual physical building. It's under these parking spaces.
So it's under those 6 parking spaces?
That's correct. And it's
Okay.
under the retail.
And the retail.
And the retail?
Yeah,
So, and the reason why it's there is because we wanted to provide storage for the units. So we have 1,100 square feet of a storage room, and each unit will get a 5x5 storage cage to put their stuff in.
It looks
And
like 25 units will get it. The 2 other units will, the 3 other units won't. I mean, the 5 other units won't. It says 25 5x5 cages, so 5
Yeah.
people won't get one.
Yeah,
I'm just asking.
you're right.
Okay, so 5 people will not get that. Hopefully, they're not the same ones that don't get a parking space. So, okay, so we have 5 units, no storage.
Is there a way to adjust that?
Yeah, I could take a look at that.
And where it says business, that's the basement for the retail, or is that a separate?
No, this is all for the tenants.
No, where it says business.
That's a
basement.
business center for people to
I'm
go.
sorry?
For people
It's a
who want to
business
work,
center?
if people want to work at home, they can go and get out of their apartment and go downstairs to
So
the
the retail
business center.
has no basement storage?
Not at this time, no. And then there's a amenity room, which is probably a big screen TV, a pool table, and then there's a gym, and then there's access to the back stair that goes up and out, and also the elevator. So that's how the basement functions. Also, you can see on the side here where my cursor is, right here, this is all reduced, this is no basement here to allow for digging to happen without interrupting the alleyway. The rest of the building in the front would have to be sheet piles, and the side would have to be sheet piles. But for the most part, we're away from any of the neighboring buildings, except for this one side. And we did do a test pit, and we do know that we could put the basement in. The water table's pretty good.
Okay, so now you're gonna move to the typical floor plan
Yep.
of the residential
Right,
floors?
And I will figure out how to get 30 storage units in there too, before this is over.
Right, so you're looking to get the 30 storage units, and, I'm sorry, I didn't mention it before, but the bike storage is only,
15 bikes.
you got 15, 16 bikes for a 30-unit condo.
We can get more.
That's enough. So
Let's see how we can get more.
I
'cause
Well,
You gotta have at least 1 bike per unit,
you're
at
right.
least.
I had a bike room over here and it was removed. I can put it back, right over here.
Yeah,
We say,
It was right here.
In the southeast corner of the site.
So I had it here.
What is there now?
Nothing.
It's just an open space?
It's just the shape of the parking.
Yeah, we'll add,
So it's like a little curb, is that what that means, is a little curb?
Yeah.
yeah, we'll add the additional bike storage.
That's why I figured it would end up coming back to me,
Okay.
but.
That's not covered there?
No, I'd have to cover, if I bring it out beyond the building, I have to cover it. I want to see how many bikes I can get under the roof.
Yeah, a portion
first
of it is
before
covered.
before I venture out. We might do a small enclosure like around the building and then put the meters on the outside and then stick the bikes on the inside. I'm thinking that's probably what I'll have to do. And again, you can see how our building does step back for all the units above, so they have windows. And then these are our units. Our smallest unit is 650, it's a 1-bedroom, and then our
This is
largest.
650 square feet?
Yes.
Okay.
And then our largest unit is 1128, and that's a 2-bedroom. If you have your plans or you want to look further into it, if you go around the building, all the units are labeled and numbered, and their square footages are there.
And there are amenities within the units, just what do they consist of?
2 bedrooms, 2 baths, a kitchen, living room. They have small balconies in the front, some have balconies in the back. Large windows, we really, as you look at my elevation, we really wanted to feature the living rooms with big, high windows that go floor to ceiling. So we're doing that on our elevation, which I can go over with you shortly. The other unit, the bedrooms have double hung windows to stay in character with the neighborhood.
Washer, dryer?
Oh, they all have washer dryers, and they're all adaptable. Every unit is adaptable.
So when I look at the front of the building, look at the corner, like the balcony,
Mm-hmm.
because it like protrudes over the building line,
It's,
articulation.
well, yeah, it
But
stays
it's
in
all
our,
within-
it
it's all
stays in our
within the lot
property.
line, right? It's
It
not-
stays within our
it's
property.
None of it's over the sidewalk, right?
That's correct. Yeah. Nothing goes beyond our property line. Everything moves in and out from the property line back.
Thank you.
You want to go to the roof plan?
I'm going to go to the roof plan. So this is our roof plan, and what I'm showing is I have landscape trays that run around the perimeter, and then there's also plant boxes that are set, and you can see here, that stick up with planters on top.
Before you go there though, going back to 103. So I see like, I don't know what to call it, would be like one of the rear lines, the third one in. So that bedroom, so what, the window is to the balcony then, right? So,
This one here, yes, the window goes into the balcony.
right, so, you know, it's not like one of those other crazy ones we get here that have no windows.
Oh, no, every bedroom has a window.
Transom, this has ventilation, right? so
Yes.
this is-
That's the only
It
thing.
has natural ventilation and stuff.
Absolutely. Every bedroom has, every unit has operable.
So is that, so that's a window, yes? That's
Yes,
a
it
window.
is.
Not a door, window.
That's correct. The only thing that does not have windows is these interior studies. They're little alcoves for a desk.
Yeah, that's not a habitable.
No, it's not habitable, it's not even big enough.
All right, just go back to the, yeah, there you go.
Okay, so back to the roof plan. So the way I've designed this is there's a pavered area here for living function outside. There's the elevator tower in the middle with a door that goes out. There's access to both stairwells, left and right. There's trade landscape to help, you know, to soften the look of the space, also to take in some of the water that we're getting from rainwater. It could help alleviate some of the rainwater. I also created a back area that loops around with a lawn turfed area here for, you know, we go out and sit on the grass, get some outside space there. These little squares you see around the perimeter, those are units. We're using heat pumps, which are very small units, they're about 36 inches high. The building is surrounded with a parapet wall that's set back in the building about 5 or 6 feet, and then all the units are behind that wall, and none of them will be visible from anywhere, except for if you get above our building.
Wasn't there a concern that the penthouse or some of the higher ones were beyond?
I have an exhibit for that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Jim, so the bocce space,
Yeah,
that's gonna be grass?
it's just grass, yeah. It's turf, like artificial grass.
Artificial, okay.
Yeah, yeah. No, we're not gonna be mowing. We're not gonna bring a mower up there.
You want to go to the elevations?
I do.
These are still the set, right?
This is still our set, yes.
Okay. What sheet are we on, just so the board can follow?
We are on A105. I don't know if you want me to get into my exhibits or just go through the elevations first?
Why don't you go through those first and then go through the exhibits, because they're based on some of the comments in the review letters.
Okay. So this is my design. Basically, the center of the building is the residential area where I have this focal point that goes up. Then on the right side of the building, which faces Main Street, I wanted to highlight the corner. So I created this architectural feature that would go up high and it would be fully glassed, and it has glass railings around it, and it's kind of like a little jewel box that draws your attention from Main Street. So we are set off Main Street, so I'm trying to get a little of a draw from the Main Street people to come down and use our retail. And then when I was done with that, I wanted to do another feature on the other side, so the building had 2 architectural features on each end and one in the middle. So the one,
Can you move the cursor
I was
so
in,
what you're referring to?
oh, you want me to?
I was just
Yeah.
What's,
No, so show us what you're pointing to when
Okay.
you're talking
Yeah.
about it.
yeah, and which sheet?
Not to complicate.
I think we're on 105.
My 105 does not have a garage door
The front elevation.
on the right
Does it?
side.
A,
So this would have to be
Or revised plans.
revised
Right.
plan that we don't know about.
There was a revised
It
plan
was
in the
revised, it
folder.
was revised.
There's electronic ones.
Yeah, there's
I
one
think
that
there were
says
two
revised.
Yeah, we submitted updated.
Paper?
oh, maybe the paper one wasn't submitted.
Yeah, because I work off the paper ones.
Oh.
So, okay, all right.
So this was the revision date.
As long as it was submitted.
Yeah.
So we don't look at it,
Yeah, you are, 105.
I don't know, but the revision date of these is January 16th.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm working off of November 12th.
Okay.
Okay.
Go to the, Marie.
No, as long as you submitted them properly, I can't complain.
Submitted,
can't go to the
what I'm
handbook.
gathering is the packets were sent over,
so you
and
said
that
that
page
now
is missing
confused.
from the paper packets.
Yeah, I have 105, but I don't just have that 105, I have a different
Yeah,
one.
you don't have the garage, that
No,
garage.
No, I don't have the updated one.
But the updated ones are in the digital, but
Okay.
it wasn't reprinted and put into the
Good.
packet. That's
Okay,
Okay, so it was available to the public in advance, and the one that you sent via email to the board members
It's in there.
last week, it was in
I have
there.
to
Okay.
double click and then I can zoom.
yeah, we're okay, it's just that,
I just wanted to make sure we didn't have to mark a new.
no, you're right,
But the hard copy that I have is not.
it's not that.
That's
Correct.
not
That's correct.
Doesn't
Okay.
work for me.
All right, and your question,
Yeah, just,
Kathleen?
Jim, if you could just go through just point to those architectural features that you were referencing.
Try and make sure I understand how to use this thing. Okay, so this is the side that faces Main, and you can see I have this glass tower that runs up this side of the building, and it's wrapped with metal surround with wooden panels that go up and over. And then the banding goes across to the centerpiece, which is our main entrance, which has archistone panels around the main entrance, which is basically like a limestone, and then it goes to brick, and then there's this bay window that sticks out at the top. And then we have little,
What is that, the lobby, that's just the landings in that center portion, the upper floors?
those are,
That's just the elevator lobby?
no, those are units, those are
Oh,
bedrooms.
those are units, okay.
Yeah, those are double hung bedroom windows.
Those are units, okay.
Yep. And then you can see these little Juliet balconies that do not protrude onto the street, but they do come off the building. And then there's a 3-panel sliding, kind of a whole glass infill in the whole section of the recess. So that these sections with the balconies are full glass, full height in the unit, gives lots of light. The units give them a bigger feel. We think that makes them much more valuable. And then I have the stone, the brick goes up to the 3rd floor and then stops to make a breaking point. I'm going to show you that in a second. And then on the left side is where I wanted to add another feature to, kind of give a building balance, where it has 2 end features and a feature in the center. So those were the features that I put in. I was under the impression that they were architectural features. Donna pointed out that they're a variance, so I'm assuming they're a variance. So that's why we have.
But just to be clear, the majority of the building complies with the height. Just point out in the small,
Yes, the finished roof of the building is 43, 10 and a half.
okay.
And so what goes beyond, the corners in the middle?
Yes.
Goes beyond that, so we're
And
3
they're-
feet higher?
Yes, and they're parapet walls too. I'm sorry, I don't know how to use Doug's mouse, so.
It's okay. So basically, the roof complies, but those few architectural features that you had gets the building 3.5 feet over in certain spots over the 45 feet.
That's correct.
Okay. And just point out where those are again? Just
They're on the ends,
Okay.
and
So-
there's one in the middle.
Right, so just
And
those,
This wall back here is this is a glass wall to the rooftop garden, which is set back off the building.
okay.
I'm sorry, what's a glass?
It's a glass railing,
Where?
right, the shaded part across the top,
Oh, that's glass.
and it's set
That's
back.
clear glass.
Yeah, it's for the roof garden. My client wanted people to be able to see out and get as much air and light as possible, because this is our amenity space, so we're trying to foof it up.
And what's the setback of that? Of the
It's-
railing?
It's set back 5 feet off the edge, off the front edge. So from the ground, you really don't see it. I can go back to my rendering, I'll show you.
And so the roof corners, those are just in the front. In the back version, there's nothing? I mean, nothing that's 3 feet higher?
I'm sorry,
On
what?
the back of the building?
What the chair is...
Because we're showing the two
No, I understand your
front.
question, yeah. What
No,
the-
there's no towers in the back of the building.
No towers in the back, okay.
Bear with me a second.
What did you want to go to, Jim?
I'm going to the first page,
Okay.
so I can show you the elevations in color and the perspective. So this is easterly of our building towards Main Street. This is our glass element, and I really wanted to wrap this corner so you can see how this becomes part of that whole unit visually. And then we have our brick infill with panels above. Now, this was kind of done intentionally by me to align, this lines up with the height of our building next door. This is where I came up with this endpoint, and this point here I came up with off of the neighboring building, so our facade at the street level lines up with their banner. Now, nobody here, I know there's a comment about my windows, but nobody here, most of the windows are boarded up on every building on either side of me, but for the most part, they were storefront windows, and that's what we're doing here. And then above, I actually carry this line of this double hung window across our units, so these kind of line up across. The scale is a little different. My scale of these windows is more in line with the scale of the building to our right.
But the building to your right is a hardware store.
But above, they have double hung windows that are 5'6" high, and so are mine. And they actually line up pretty darn close.
What is the gray portion? What is-
Brick. Which gray? The light gray?
The dark gray,
The dark gray, these are metal panels.
And on the third floor or the fourth floor, whatever, the white.
These are
those
hardy
metal
panels.
Those are hardy.
Hardy panels.
And the light gray is brick. then
The light gray is
below that,
brick.
right?
I have a sample board of what it is. I brought it out and pass it around. I don't think we have to, I think we might have to.
Do you want to mark this?
Mark
or-
it.
What I could do, so you don't have to keep it, I could maybe just, we could take a photo of it and have that be submitted to the board, so you don't have to keep this in the file.
Actually, we do like to keep.
You like to keep it? Okay, that's fine. You
If
get,
they're the ones we ultimately go with.
Right,
So why don't you tell us which
yes, I will. So the
so
gray
we'll
brick-
mark this, what do we have to, A4?
It's up to A4.
Yeah, okay, let's just,
Yeah.
A4 is a material board, we'll call it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
originally I did have like iron spot brick on the building, more of like a reddish brick, but my client really preferred to go to a different color. So I found this gray, which I thought was pretty historic looking by nature, and it has a glassy sheen to it. It's like a fired brick. It's really, I think it's really pretty and has a lot of movement to it. What's that? Is my time up? And then this is our lower brick, again, very nice high-end
So
black.
like the lighter brick that you had
The
there,
lighter brick is right here.
that's
Here.
like the
Runs
two
around
stories
here.
there, right?
The second
Runs
and
over
third floors,
here,
yeah.
runs over
Yeah,
here.
okay, right, okay.
And then,
And the darker brick that you were saying is?
that's the base.
The ground.
That's the base.
No, the one
ground
below
level.
the lighter one you were touching,
Right here.
yeah.
That's the ground level base brick. That,
Okay.
these pilasters across the bottom,
Yeah.
on these columns.
And the smaller dark one is?
This is the stone that's up against, on the property line.
Okay.
This is it's like a polished block where it's exposed. And then this is our hardy panels, and this is kind of our window color. And then
The big white one is the other hardy?
these are the hardy panels, and then Donna made a comment, which I really agree with her, that we're gonna match this color with this. These will match, these two.
And what's the wood grain?
The wood green is what you see highlighting my,
Oh, underneath,
jewel
just like the
box.
soffit?
and it's metal.
It's
It's
Sorry,
metal.
where's that?
Huh? It's right here, it highlights around this. Really wanted this to read as a feature, so I wanted to highlight that perimeter. I chose wood, it could be just a different color metal, I really like the wood.
In the shiny brick, the light gray one, I mean, that's not like the, the old white glazed brick that
No,
we did
it-
a lot in New York City that got water infiltration behind it.
Oh, no, this is not gonna get water.
Okay.
We're gonna have drainage, mat drainage, everything behind this, it's gonna be off the building. We build a lot differently. I did start with stucco instead of hardy, but my client had told me that he can't get it insured because it's got this stigmatism attached to it. So hardy is probably one of the best
You mean
alternate
like the
materials
fake-
for
you
siding.
mean like the fake stucco?
Yeah,
The fake
well, all stucco, because they hear stucco and they panic. So that's what he tells me, so.
Even cement?
I've used it, but he can't get it insured. And it's a condominium project. You have to understand, there's a lot of liability that goes with a
Yeah,
condominium
but I
project.
think that's one of the required materials on the waterfront.
It is
real stucco.
hard coat.
Yeah, but we do see a lot of hardy panel.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, they're saying there's a stigma, but we do require real stucco, not
You do.
fake stucco.
You do. But a lot of those projects are they condos?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've changed it a
I have
couple
stucco
times.
on my house, and I'm concerned, you know.
I've changed the materials. I love the building.
It's 100 years, it's 120-something years old. so-
I know, I think stucco is a great product. I think it's great. If it's done properly and done right, it's a beautiful product. So I've changed these a couple times. I kind of like where we are. I'm up for any suggestions if the board has any other ideas. But I've been through this with my client and his partners numerous times.
You want to go through the exhibits?
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
wait, let's stay on this for a second. So, to Barbara's question originally, you can see where the building height, there's those three specific locations
Right.
on the front facade where it goes higher than the 45.
And that requires a
Not much higher,
variance.
and it's just those three little spots.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
It's here, here, and here.
yeah,
This is the regular building height right here.
and then the other thing that came up when you were talking about the roof plan was the glass railing
Railing.
around the roof.
Which you can't see.
Does that go above the roof line? So that
It
was,
keeps the people in the enclosure.
not the question, but is that above the roof line?
It's above the roof
Yeah.
line, and
So
it's
that-
slightly above the parapet wall.
So that adds to the footage of you being over, no? No?
No, we don't count railings.
You don't count
That's not
railings
the
or,
building. Yeah.
okay, all right.
So you could see, you barely see it, it's back here. He didn't render it properly, but it's way back here. So you see just the railing top, and then the rest is glass. Any questions?
I'm sorry, but I'm not a fan of the rooftop railing being glass. That's,
You'd
or
rather it
glass
be-
or see-through.
just be-
I'm just saying that, just visually, because right now, I don't see glass, I see
Wanna pass
that
this
it's
away?
solid. It looks solid on your,
It is solid, the rendering.
You'd
is
rather it be
solid.
opaque?
I'm asking on this, is this what it's gonna look like? So when you're saying there's glass, where's the
Yes.
glass?
You,
I don't know where the glass
so,
is.
it's not really in.
It's gonna
not
be above
rendered
that?
prop- It's behind this, you don't see it.
Okay, so we'll never see it from the street.
No, I can show you, let me show
Okay,
you, let me
if
show
we're
you
not
my
gonna see it
exhibit.
from the street,
I
I'm
did a-
good.
I did a view line for you. A
Okay.
view line from the street. Is there anything I missed on your letter that I haven't really discussed?
Is there something about a blank wall?
Oh, yeah, I have
Is
that in
that
my
right?
exhibits.
Yeah, let's
there.
look at the back of the
I
building,
don't know if that's.
on the side.
Okay, so on sheet A105, this is the right side of the
Before-
building.
What was your question?
Yeah,
Sorry.
excuse me, before you get off this subject of that railing on the roof, when we go back to the rendering you have on the north side of the building, it looks like from your rendering that railing or wall, even though it's set back, is just below the cap on that center tower.
Right, so,
Yeah.
no, I understand, so it looks like it's, not only those three places are above 3 feet, so is
That whole,
that whole line.
No, but
No, the rail,
don't count the.
that's not rendered properly. The guy, he didn't render it.
Okay, so it's not rendered properly.
Now, I'm gonna show you on my.
Okay.
Yeah, but just to be clear on the height calculation, and Donna can correct me if I'm wrong. The reason the towers count is because they're not parapets, they're actually part of the structure. The parapet wall for the roof, those are exempt, correct?
No, the parapet wall actually counts. There are exceptions for things that are on the roof, like the railings around the recreation area and the stair towers, they don't count toward the height. The parapet counts toward the height because that's actually installed part of the facade.
That's what it looks
But
like.
the railing is behind that.
No, understood.
It appears from the rendering that there is a break at the top of the building, a setback, and then another wall that is almost to the top of those,
I think the sight line that you're gonna show is gonna make that clearer.
Okay, so it might be that the rendering is not
That
correct.
is the railing. It's not rendered probably, it is a little further back than that. That's,
All right, why don't you show it
so
on
if you look on this
Okay.
elevation,
so that is the railing, it's not a parapet wall.
yes.
Right.
Okay, I thought you said that was glass and is invisible.
That's it, it's glass. It was changed, the renderer, it's an
Okay.
older render.
Okay.
All right, so
It was
the rendering
before
is
we re-
incorrect.
It was before we revised and added the glass railing. So we've been
All right.
revised, we just didn't get a chance to upgrade.
So that gray shouldn't be gray, that's clear glass.
That gray is glass,
It's clear glass.
yes.
And when you say that it has a railing, what is the railing?
But
Oh, yeah.
it's probably just gonna have an
Just a little.
aluminum cap, yeah, like a little aluminum cap, yeah. So in the rendering, when you see the black line of the banding, that's this height here, right here. So that's actually the roof height.
Okay.
It's level to the roof. Then as you go back 5 feet, then you hit the railing. So everything's pushed back off the face of the building. All the
You're not saying
protect.
a railing, it's a fence.
It's
a glass fence, no, right?
It's
I mean,
expensive.
No, I mean, isn't it?
42-inch high,
It's 42-inch high glass panels.
that's correct.
Right, okay.
And then around the other side, all the other fall protection is a wall on the other sides.
On the other side, you're talking about the south side of
The south and the east and the west.
and that, it's a wall.
That's a wall.
What's the wall made of?
It's hardy panels. It's framed and it has hardy panels on it.
Okay, so it's a parapet.
No.
It's fall protection, to keep people off the edge. I have to put something up, and that's my fence. I have to put something up.
Well,
For
No,
safety.
but it's all,
I think we're-
all of those are set back in from the parapets.
That's correct.
That are, the parapets are the small walls that are part of the,
Just like if
the
you
the
had,
perimeter, right.
just like the
Right, right.
mechanical screening around the HVAC.
You want me to have those walls, or else you're gonna see my mechanical equipment. Which you're really not gonna see it, but, because I've been around the site 150 times, you can't really see this building. I'll show you my exhibits. I wanted to kinda,
We want to see the side of the building.
Yep.
The elevation that's on the alley. I think that's on
this is
this
the alley
page.
elevation.
Yes, here we go.
So this is the brick that comes around, this is the banding that keeps going, and then this is the stone face that I showed you there. And then there's our garage door, this is access to the garage, and the pedestrian exit for the
This is
stair
from the
tower.
10-foot wide.
This is in the 10-foot
Okay.
wide alley.
So when you say garage door, that's like, where you're saying you pull
This
the
is for the
trash out,
trash.
the trash coming, not
The overhead
garage
trash.
door.
And then originally I had a Jared fence, we're gonna change that to a solid fence.
Jim, you said that's a door to the left of the garage door? I meant like
This is a
man door?
hallway. It goes into the stairwell to get people out in an emergency, and also has a door to the garage.
Oh, okay, so that's not a door, that's just
No,
open?
it's set in,
Oh,
yeah. This is our signage, which is freestanding letters. A little typo here. This is a 12-inch high letter, not a 4-foot high letter. And this is the type of letterings that we're using. It would be for the retailers, basically mounted on the band.
Jim,
And back,
Well, they're having signage on the alley section, on the alley?
no, it's on the front, on the banding on the front, right there. So it's over the retail, see where I wrote the store signs? Then there's the address here, and then at the top.
Are they just, what are they, metal letters?
Yes, and they're
They're
backlit.
They're backlit.
The light goes backwards against the building.
Jim, is there any,
Was all that lighting, was that all in the lighting plan? The lighting from the?
No, that's on my plans.
the sign lighting is held at a different
It's on my-
standard?
A different standard,
Yeah.
okay.
Jim, so that emergency egress
Mhm.
on the alley, can it have a door?
I could put a gate, maybe. I could put a door on it. Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I want to
we don't want
recess
it
it.
to
I
be
would
a-
like to recess it.
We
a
don't want it
little
to be a hidey hole.
bit. Okay. I'd like to recess so when it swings, it doesn't swing
Yes,
out past.
that's fine.
Which is something you did bring up, which I might as well go back while I'm here. You brought up the doors that swing out of the retail.
That alley's always gonna be gated, right? I mean, it's gated now.
I don't know. It's up
Those
to this,
gates there.
it's up to the city.
No, I think that's the hardware guy
No.
doing stuff. No, that chain link fence across the front wasn't there when I first looked at the
No,
property.
no, the gate.
No.
There's actually
There's
gates in
like a
that
wrought
alley.
iron
Yeah, I
gate.
know what you're saying.
In the front?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to find out who put them there, because you guys didn't. So, yeah, my doors do swing out, but I try to keep them on my property. If it's a big deal, I could recess.
No, this is
Okay,
acceptable, because it doesn't swing out over the sidewalk, you're on your own property.
okay, good.
Is there a code to like swing out? Don't they have to swing out?
I have to swing out if you're serving more than 50 occupants.
Right, and the CBD plan just says it's fine as long as you don't swing out over the sidewalk.
So Jim, go to the plan before that, the north side.
The
Can you
north-
just, for the board, can you just show the heights of each of the components on the north side? The Summerfield face?
Summerfield.
Yeah, that one. Can you just, for the board, so they know what height is what as you go across from the east to the west?
Yep. So this is the top of our building height to the flat roof. This is our parapet here, here, and on the other side. I'm not gonna do that because I can't seem to be able to function right. Oh my God. So I'm really sorry. Doug, I should have you doing this for me. Everybody sets their mouths up differently, and you don't know what you're doing.
He's left-handed.
Yeah, I don't know what he is. So I wanted to show you that, like, I was telling you about how, how I lined this stuff up the best I could. So this is, you can see how our street line is in line with our neighbor here, and kind of in line with his broken piece too. And our materials kind of break up at the height of this building, so I brought that line across too. And that's why I changed the materials at that height. So it stopped at the third level and went to a different material.
Can you show, on the exhibit that you prepared, the sight lines to show that the roof items are not, the roof mechanicals are not visible from the street?
Yeah.
All right, so we didn't submit this, so this would be A5. Can you just depict what this is, describe,
Yep.
explain who prepared it?
So this is Exhibit 1. Who prepared it is sitting in front of you. It was done today.
Okay.
This is the building to our west, and then this is, what's it, not Broad Street?
Banks.
No,
Banks.
Banks.
Bond.
Bond.
No, that's Bond.
Sorry, I can't get it out.
Yeah, that's fine.
This is Bond, so this is standing across the street, kind of, this is the building, so it's bigger than the sidewalk, actually. And you can see your eye goes this way, and here's the building. So this is the shorter, I think there's a couple different heights, but from this street, you can barely see anything. You see a little clip of that.
How tall is that person?
That person is 6 feet tall. I used a guy, 6-foot guy. And then this is our Summerfield side, and I put this person 75 feet away, which is the full width of the easement. And you can see the sight line goes up and past, here's the flat roof, here's the feature piece with the graffiti on it, and it goes up and it just passes the elevator tower. And then our, like I said before, our railings are back here, so you really don't see the railings. I didn't do the art design. I'm assuming we're going to hire an artist to present it at some point in time, if it gets approved this way. And then, any questions about this? Get out of this. These are a little, not as fancy as the other rendering. I have to do this myself. So this is how our building
So
sets.
this is A6?
E2, done today. So this is a view from the corner, which you can see this is how our building goes down. This is blank wall we talked about. It's a zero lot line. I can't add any windows, but as soon as you get past this section, the building steps back and it almost gets invisible from here. You can see how we line up on the street. I just wanted you to see that. I drew that in there so you could see it. I don't think it's that much building wall. I think this wall is actually more visible than ours, but I think because we're adding features to it, it gives it some character. So that's kind of where I am with that. Any questions on that?
What's that, that's a little higher, if you go a little bit to your left, right, keep going to the left, right there.
That's the
What
stair
is that?
tower.
Sorry?
That's
What-
the stair tower.
That's the stair tower, so that is above,
Yeah.
and that's allowed?
I sloped it down to follow the stairs, so it wasn't full height. So it has a sloping roof on it.
And on the east side, can we just like do the version that's on the east side?
You mean the rendering?
I'm sorry, on the west side?
This,
The wall on the west side where
Right,
the
I have to
windows
go-
are and everything,
you
is
want me to
that
go
on
back to the-
106, I think?
you want me to venture back to the rendering?
Right, to the 106,
Hold on.
A106. Keep going to the side that faces Main Street.
Yeah. You want the elevation?
Yeah, the
or
alleyway, the alleyway.
You want the elevation or the
No, no,
perspective?
no, just what you have here like this. I think it's like 106.
This one?
106, no. Well, or, I mean, we might be able to see it over here, but what I'm concerned about is where are the stairs and what windows are on the stairs?
There are no windows on
There's
the
no
stairs.
windows.
There are no windows on any stairway.
No.
Excellent.
No.
Okay.
I
Then
have,
I'm not worried.
I have a few unit windows on that side.
That's okay. I'm always worried about the lighting in stairways that other people can see it.
Yeah, there's no.
Okay.
And then I have one more view just to show you further west on Summerfield. So here's our building looking further west from
So
Summerfield.
this is A7?
Yep. E3 is
A7.
A7. E3 is A7. So you can see, you know, our building is mostly blocked by the neighboring buildings. And, you know, there is some stuff on the UEZ zone where you're supposed to have retail around the parking. We kind of have it built in because we're surrounded by buildings with retail on the first floor. So we're kind of in the middle of a lot, not at the end.
How does this building conform to the master plan? How does it blend into the neighborhood? All the buildings in the area are two-story buildings, and you're putting up a four-story building. How
Well,
does that,
there's a four-story building directly behind us, and there's one across the street on Banks.
You-
That's our block.
on that block?
And then there's
in
a
the-
four-story parking garage, or five-story parking garage, and then
That's
there's.
not on that block.
But we're allowed to go to 45 feet.
I'm asking the question, how does that conform to the master plan? This is supposed to blend into the neighborhood,
Yeah.
okay? The buildings surrounding this, except for the southeast corner, are all two-story buildings. You're putting up a four-story building. How does that blend
Well,
in with the
you could
neighborhood?
You could see how it fits in. It doesn't, I don't think it's massive. And you have the same thing happening on other streets too, where there's a
No,
taller building and a smaller building, and they're all in the APTVs
Well,
up.
but,
So-
hold on, but for master plan consistency or meeting the goals and objectives, I was gonna have the planner go over that in
Okay.
in a lot of detail.
Yep.
So,
And all I could do is do what I tried to do, which was line everything up and have a cohesiveness with the neighborhood, with the materials as they change at different heights. So that's what my plan was.
well, and also, I mean, I know we do need some variances, but you wanted the building to conform with the CBD ordinance.
Yeah, I tried to do as best I could. And I guess that's my building.
I'm sorry?
And I guess that's my building.
Okay.
I have some question, I didn't see anything in the report, but is there any attention to any green building, any efforts for energy efficiency and materials in terms of green building?
Yeah, we're probably LEED certifiable, probably the first level, but we're not gonna get LEED certification, but we are probably silver certifiable. Yeah, we're gonna do all the required things that we have to do with the removal of trash. Materials, most of these materials are organic and local, so,
So, and like the low VOC and everything?
yeah.
In my opinion, you should note that in the application.
That's fine.
And I may have missed it, but I'm always looking for it and I didn't see any reference to it.
I didn't see like a green building checklist or anything.
We don't have
I
one.
usually
It's
run
on the
across.
CBD plan.
No, we don't have one, I was saying, but if you are doing it, then
Yeah.
it's,
Okay, we can note that we could meet that standard, but not go for the certification.
It's pretty
That would be good.
Okay.
That would be good,
Okay,
especially when you speak to the council.
that's fine. Any other questions for Jim?
Yeah, the trash and recycling room. So you're a hair over 50% of what it should be. And did I hear you say two
Two
6-yard dumpsters?
8 yards, yeah.
Two
One's-
8-yard?
Yeah, one's for cardboard, one's for trash.
And is that for the commercial or just the,
It's for the commercial also.
It's combined, it's for both.
You're gonna have to hire, like, Superman to push that 100 feet to the curb. Did you ever try to push one of an 8-foot
Well, I
dumpster?
wasn't figuring them taking it all the way to the curb. I was more figuring on them pulling it out and then dumping it. and going.
If the alleyway's open, and if we have a snowstorm like this, you're not gonna have that alleyway open for a month.
I would think we're gonna plow it,
Okay,
yeah.
but I mean, how do we let you have 50% when you're undersized? You need 360 square feet, you got 200 square feet, and you got two 8-foot dumpsters, which take up the entire room, that somebody's gonna have to push either 10 feet or 100 feet once a week. And, you know, it's just like, you know, it was,
and each individual tenant or owner is bringing their trash down to this trash room independently?
That's correct.
and that was just the 30 units, but now it's also the commercial.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's enough, guys.
Do you think the trash room needs to be larger?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, if
I
I-
am concerned about, like, normally in a 20-unit building, we're getting a trash chute, you know, the trash room on each floor,
And, because you're gonna need recycling and you're gonna need trash, you're not gonna only need,
Yeah, he said,
Well, I have
so you'll
both.
have one for each.
I have both.
in,
I mean, I could make the room bigger if I removed the bike room and moved the bike
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Well, we're gonna need the trash room to be the appropriate size.
The trash
the
room for
building.
what?
We're gonna need the trash room to be the appropriate size for the building.
is it possible to, let's see,
I mean, I've had many successful buildings with this size, the same exact garbage situation. We could put a compactor in too, maybe. Yeah,
okay.
feel
That's
better
just-
about that.
I'd like a bigger room, but a compactor might work.
Okay, well, look, I've taken a lot of notes of things that,
Yeah.
we need to address between
Okay.
now, I'm assuming we're not finishing, you're gonna wanna see these
Thank you.
changes that are gonna be made, so we'll address these items.
Okay.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any other questions?
I have a really minor thing,
Go ahead.
the image that's on the cover, that, the hedge that's in the front is not really there, right? That's just a graphic thing?
Which one?
The hedgerow, like this thing, Jim, this,
That's just a,
No, that's
Just a rendering.
before the landscaping drawings were done.
It's fine, we'll fix the rendering, it's fine.
Anything else from the planning board members or our professionals?
Just one other question. In the planner's report concerning the storefronts, you indicated in your original design that your floor to ceiling glass panels and the requirement is for a knee wall.
Yeah, I'll add the knee wall.
You're gonna add it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yeah, so can you talk about the lighting on the roof?
I can't because I haven't done it yet.
Okay,
What's
so when you come back,
The intent
we need to
or-
see that.
Well, the
Doug
intent.
had said low
it's-
landscape lighting.
Right, I have the wall, I would put the lighting along the wall. I'll come back with it.
Okay, okay.
Can I ask this, is there a preference typically that the board, for the
I
rooftop?
just don't want spillage.
Yeah, okay,
We just don't want spillage,
okay, all right, we'll show it.
right?
I mean, there's no like porticos or on the roof or anything?
No, I
like
took
that?
it off.
Any structures?
You mean like pergolas and stuff like that?
Pergolas,
Yeah, no, that's not the intent at all, yeah.
Just consider, spillage is one thing, but you will have neighbors,
Yeah, so you want
At
the
that
dark,
level,
the
so
cutoff
it's-
fixtures, yeah, okay.
because you got the building at the corner of Bond and Bangs, and then the new building that hopefully was going in at 7-Eleven Bangs.
Right,
And those will be,
right, because
those
you
are
don't,
four-
you don't,
four
wanna-
stories.
right,
so-
you don't only want to build for now, you want to build for the
Right.
future. So let's be conscious of our future neighbors as
And then
well.
across Bangs is also 5 stories. So,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Okay.
Anything else from our
And then actually where
professionals?
the opening is on Bangs Avenue, we have, if you were to look through there, you could see our units, not a blank wall, which is.
Okay, all right, let's, anyone from the public that would like to ask any questions of our architect? Of anything that was testified to? Okay.
Hi, Stephen Rock, 707 Bangs, Unit 301. I have a question on the elevations. For the rear elevation, on the elevator penthouse, it looks like there's a window or door facing the rear of the building. And I want to clarify if that's a window or door, and if there will be light spillage from that, because all of the back of the building will be viewable to my unit. Yes, to the top of the page there. In the center, on the elevator.
Right there?
Parapet, yes, is that a door?
This is a wall,
Yes, but the little rectangle on the, yes.
that's
right.
not a door.
Is it a window?
No, it's not anything.
There's
I don't know why
line work
that's-
there.
I'll be
And
honest with you,
I guess we'll get that fixed next time.
I don't know why that's
Okay.
there. The
Thank you.
door is facing the front.
Okay.
You want me to show you the plan?
No, it's fine.
No, I'm just clarifying.
Yeah, yeah. Door's facing-
And then additionally, on the elevations, you indicate the parking lot fence is in line with the building facade. I want to clarify, it would appear, according to the site plans and the first floor, ground floor plan, that the fence would be set back. I just want to make sure the building isn't up to the property line as the elevations would kind of depict.
The fence is on the property line, the building is not,
Right, but your
Only in-
elevations don't indicate that.
only in one section. And that's to the building to our west.
So if you go to the side elevation, which I believe is down.
Which side?
That one right there on the bottom left corner of that elevation, you're showing the fence in line with the upper building.
Yeah, but the fence
On
is
the far left end,
over here.
yes.
Yeah, the fence is on the property line.
But then that's showing the
No, but it
building
should
up to the
extend
property line.
past the building.
Oh, yeah, you're, that's a good
Okay,
catch,
I'm
actually.
just
You're right, it's 5 feet
Just
out here.
clarifications.
No, I like that. Thank you. We'll fix that.
Additionally, the zoning ordinance for the design standards, 3056-1, indicates that there should be design consideration given to neighboring buildings, especially for solar access. And I wanted to ask if you would testify that that was considered and that you think this is the best design for solar access for neighboring buildings.
I'm sorry, access for what?
Solar access.
Solar.
One of the comments ordinance 3056-1, which is a design consideration for the neighboring buildings, includes, context awareness, which I think the height was mentioned earlier, but it also mentions solar access, air light and everything for to and from neighboring buildings.
Well, the sun is traveling east to west.
Correct, but my windows face north and your building's in front of them.
Where's your building?
707 Bangs Ave.
Right,
My
so
unit faces the
we
back of
should-
the building.
We should not affect your lighting
Well,
from the sun.
your building's in front of my window, so I'm not sure how that doesn't affect my lighting. I'll speak that later in the comments at the end.
Okay. I'm not sure I'm following you, but okay.
So let me pipe in here for a second. So the CBD plan controls building orientation through its direct and the urban enterprise zone design guidelines. So that obviates anything in chapter 30 pertaining to building
Okay.
orientation.
And then final clarification is, I know we were discussing the parapet wall. The parapet wall along the back east, west, and south sides of the building is a 48-inch high solid wall, correct?
42-inch high.
I believe the plan said 48, but okay. Does that not, to me, that blocks the view. I know the parapet's not technically considered part of the building height, but as a resident facing that facade, that increases the level of the skyline that I can see.
Now, it is set back off the face of the building.
Right,
and
but I'm on the third
It is
floor.
hiding our mechanical units.
Right, but it goes the entire width of the building instead of just around the mechanical, so now you're increasing the height that's blocked by the view. It's
not
just a
sure how-
consideration,
Where specifically are we talking about?
so I'm talking about the west, east and west.
He's
and-
talking about this wall.
Yes,
Okay,
and my unit is facing the protrusion off the back of the building.
Right here.
okay.
So the higher you go, the more you block.
So I could back this wall all the way up to here if you want.
I wouldn't be opposed to that,
Okay.
But, okay,
If I
so
back
what
the-
does that do to the rest of the building if you move the wall?
Nothing, it's only facing it. Nobody could see this, but I guess he could see it. I don't know what floor are you on?
I'm on, I guess it would be considered the third floor, second
Okay.
livable floor.
So you're almost as high, you're 10 feet down from this edge.
Correct, so
Um,
it affects my view.
I'm a little, I could just back it up to make sure these units are covered. It's not really gonna affect anything.
That's the parapet wall there?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
it's the fall protection.
The fall protection wall, okay.
So I thought that section, I thought where it began, maybe that was with Doug. Because of the way it looked like that portion doesn't back up to any windows. on
Well,
the
we have
neighboring
windows here
building.
too.
Excuse me?
We have windows here too. He's 5 feet, how far up, you're like 5, 10 feet off the property line and we're 5.
So we have,
We have
that's where I
space
began.
between.
That's the whole damn thing about this CBD.
We have space between us is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know, you got 5 feet.
It's more than 5 feet.
You know,
Isn't there a
you
roof
got
deck?
windows looking
He's
into
probably
windows.
10.
My unit is set back, I don't know the exact distance,
Yeah, but
but
He's like
10,
15.
10,
The
12
ground floor,
feet. The ground floor protrudes
Is-
out, yes.
yes,
It's our trash room, yes.
yes.
So you have windows facing windows in the buildings.
I don't know if we exactly line up, but I do have windows
Yeah.
towards the back.
You could look and see some of the things.
Can't say the exact.
And what's the distance?
Well, I think I didn't really measure it, so I don't want to say, but I think he's 15 or something back.
I
From
don't know.
property,
the
and
exact-
I'm 5,
15 back from
and
his
I'm
property
5.
line? You're 5, so it's like 20 feet.
That's not bad. It's a city. I bet you have units that are closer.
So Donna, the setback is only there's no setback
There's no
that's on the
setback.
ground floor? That's on the ground
There's no
floor,
There's no
setbacks anywhere.
setbacks.
Yeah.
Even up?
It's only whatever building code, fire separation,
Just limit your windows.
there's nothing in the CBD plan that says buildings have to be separate from each other.
But effectively, you do have to set back. because of the other
However,
fire codes and stuff like that.
window openings,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay.
So for example, when we were on 7-Eleven Bangs, which is the building next to his,
Mhm.
they set their building back from the rear property line 5 feet.
5 feet,
So that,
right.
because we knew we were gonna have this cushion problem,
Yes.
but we still wanted to have windows on the back of their building.
But you're saying they set it back 5 feet, but that was only the ground floor?
No, the whole building, 7-Eleven is,
That's what I'm saying, that's only 5 feet.
right.
But that building is gonna be where there's no building, because the way they're building there, that's there overlooking the parking lot.
7-Eleven, right, but past the parking lot, past those parking spaces, there's building with windows.
Yeah, but they're further back than.
Right, where
than-
that notch is, right, and
right.
there's even a balcony.
Right.
We could look, like we said, shifting that parapet back a little bit, if that's something the board wants us to do.
I also have one more.
Well, wait, so, this is, are we still, we're in question, right?
More questions?
Should I finish? Just to
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, other
The, two more things. So on that note, would you say that the building is favoring the future development on 7-Eleven, Bangs Ave over the existing buildings? As you're leaving an opening facing that proposed property?
I'm not sure about the question.
Yeah, I don't know, what did he?
Well, is the design of the building
Yes.
and its L shape favoring with the opening, like, what was the consideration for making the L
Well, I
towards
said
the
my-
existing buildings?
Well, I looked at your building, and I did notice yours is set back, and you have windows, and I L-shaped the building in that direction, because that's the way the property was making me L-shape the building. But I did leave space between my building and yours,
Understood, I'm just
okay?
asking for the,
Yeah,
what the
property
design
has a weird
consideration
shape to
was.
it. It's not just a square. It has a jog in it.
Yes, I understand that, but you could have centered the wing in the middle of in the building, you could have, there's other options, but that's, yeah, that's.
It's really hard to do that. You lose a lot of space.
Okay. And the final one is on the sheet piling that you indicated would be used for the basement. Is there any consideration to how that method is going to be done? Are there going to be vibration monitoring? Is there any particulars on that, as I know sheet piling is driven into the ground?
We're not really close enough to anybody with where the sheet piling is going. And I set the foundations back. I'm not in construction, construction document phase, or I don't have an engineer, so I don't have that answer for you right now.
But you would follow all construction code
Yeah.
guidelines, obviously.
I could just jump in there too. So when construction actually commences,
Yeah.
for liability purposes, the contractor, if they do bear more need to, they'll do vibration monitoring.
Okay, I just want to make sure that's considered. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, we want a few minutes?
Yeah, just to.
All right, if we could just get 5 minutes, if you don't mind?
Motion?
Motion to, for 5 minutes?
5-minute break, all in favor?
Aye. Just so you know, we close at 10, so use the time as you wish.
But we're,
Sorry, yes.
Okay, all right.
Ready to go?
I will take roll call so we can resume the meeting. James Bonanno.
Here.
Councilwoman Clayton.
Here.
Jim Henry.
Here.
Mayor Moore.
Here.
Jen Souter. Here. Daniel Shinameo. Kathy McLaughlin.
Here.
And Chairwoman Barbara Kurzak.
Here. Okay, you have, like I said, you have about half an hour.
Okay.
So whoever you choose to bring up is your call.
All right, no, thank you. So the next one, this is our traffic engineer, Matt Seckler from Stonefield Engineering and Design. So let's swear him in.
Sorry.
You swear affirm to tell, that the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
And again, if you could state your name and spell your last name for the record, please.
Certainly, my name is Matthew Seckler, that's Seckler. I'm with Stonefield Engineering Design. For the first time, I could say we have an address as of yesterday at 700 Bangs Avenue in the city.
There you go.
We haven't moved in yet, we just,
Give me that, write that address down. You'll be getting a letter from me.
All right, Matt, can you just give the board your qualifications as a traffic engineer in the state of New Jersey?
certainly, I have a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from Union College in Schenectady, New York. I have a Master's in City Regional Planning from Rutgers University. I'm a licensed professional engineer and professional traffic operations engineer. I'm also a professional planner, but I'm not serving as that in this application. And I've accepted for over 150 boards in the state as a traffic engineer.
All right, the board accept, okay, thank
And
you.
everything's in good standing in New Jersey?
Yes.
All right, so Matt, your office prepared a traffic impact study dated, I think it was November 19th, 2025?
Correct.
All right, can you walk the board through the various aspects of that study, trip generation, access and circulation, and also, as we discussed, if you could go through your parking analysis, that'd be great.
Absolutely. And again, in listening to the board, I know parking seems to be one of the hot subjects, but I'll just briefly go through some of the other items in the traffic impact study. As was mentioned by council, the report is dated November 19th, 2025. As part of this study, we did perform traffic counts and parking counts. We did those during the summer, understanding that is when we would typically see the highest volume of traffic and parking usage in the area. For the parking counts, we did the counts on Saturday, July 20, hold on, I get the right date. July 26, 2025, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and Tuesday, July 29th, 2025, from 7 in the morning to 9 in the morning and 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. to get your typical roadway peak periods during the summer. We also did counts Wednesday, July 17th, 2025, from 6 p.m. To 12 a.m. That was continuous in that July date. The temperature was up to 92 degrees, so it was a nice July, hot, sunny day. And Saturday, July 12, 2025, we did counts from 11:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., again, to get an understanding of the parking situation in and around our site. And I'll...
When you say you go like a 5-minute walk, so is it, I mean, is there a definitive parameter that you're?
Yes, so that, for the parking counts, we went all the way to Sewell Avenue. That was as far north as we went, and we went as far east as Grand Avenue, and basically ran Main Street all the way down, and we ran Cookman basically all the way down to Grand. So that was basically the large range parking study we did. Again, I know the city has conducted parking studies in the past. This is obviously an updated one that obviously the city could use for future use as well. Obviously, no surprise, certain areas, certain streets, I know I'm getting into parking a little early, no parking available. Around our site, there were, on the Saturday, about 9 parking spaces on our street, either our side or the opposite side of the street that were available, as well as some smattering of parking spaces on Main Street on that Saturday.
But can we also be very clear that,
Yes.
that your street that you're talking about, I'm assuming, are 15-minute spots and 30-minute spots? They are not regular parking spots?
Correct.
So you're clear?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, yep.
All right.
In addition, again, the counts we did at the intersection, we did the intersection of Summerfield and Main Street. That's when we did our volume counts to get an understanding of the traffic volumes, right, left, through movements at the intersection.
I'm sorry, this is the parameter, this is where you look. correct?
Yes, and I think for the record, yes.
Yeah, can you tell us what page you're speaking from? Because you're speaking about a lot of things.
Yes.
So I'm not sure what I'm looking at.
So A10 and A11, that's the appendix A10 and A11, that is the scope of the parking count.
So on that image, you would see an aerial outlined in yellow. That was the area that we did the parking counts on. And what you'll see on each street will be two numbers with a slash in the middle. The number on the left is the number of parked cars, the number on the right is the number of parking spaces. And A10 is the Saturday count, and A11 is the Thursday count.
In those counts, so like, I mean, is that a snapshot in time?
Yeah, that's a snapshot in time. If you go to sheet A12 and A13 and A14 and A15, you'll see the counts were done on a 30-minute interval. So basically, you'll be able to see every 30 minutes the amount of parking spaces that
So
were
what do
occupied.
the numbers mean then? Is that an average or something?
I believe that was the peak 30-minute interval for the whole area.
And the time frame you did was over about a 4 or 5 hour time frame?
We went 4 or 5 hours on the weekday and on the weekend, on the weekend. On the weekday, we went a little bit longer because we wanted to get closer to some of the overnight periods as well.
Okay.
So that is some of the data that we collected as part of this traffic study. In addition, we utilized the Institute of Transportation Engineers trip generation manual to project the amount of traffic our site would generate. Again, I know the board has heard a lot of discussion, or will have further discussion on parking, but in terms of traffic, utilizing the ITE, the projected amount of traffic this site would generate would be about 15 trips in the busiest hour. That includes vehicles coming in or out of our site. 15 trips in an hour is 1 car every 4 minutes. So that's about the amount of traffic we'd expect to have coming in and out of our development. And that is based on the ITE trip generation manual. They have a specific land use for low-rise residential with retail on the ground floor.
Is that a certain period of time?
That would be in your busiest morning hour and your busiest evening hour. So from 8 to 9 in the morning, when people may be leaving for work, that we projected there to be 13 cars being generated during that time period.
Every 4 minutes.
It's not every 4, no, yeah. I mean, you could have 3 cars leave 1 minute, and then you might have no cars leave for 12 minutes.
But I mean, it's not all day.
It's not all day.
It's at the peak.
At the peak, maybe at 10 o'clock, there may be 5 cars leaving. You wouldn't have that level. But in terms of traffic and trip generation, again, this is a pretty de minimis generator of traffic. Typically, in traffic engineering, we look at 50 trips an hour or 100 trips an hour, something that may trigger changes in delay. If people are leaving the site and heading towards the Main Street intersection, you're talking about maybe 1 car, again, every 2 cycles or 3 cycles being generated by our site. In addition, I know it was mentioned earlier, one of the advantages of a site like this is we're taking advantage of kind of the transit village feel. I know the city has previously been designated a transit village by, I believe, the NJDOT. We are less than a quarter mile from the train station, less than a quarter mile from the transportation center with the bus line. So there is obviously other means of transportation other than driving to work. We also are providing bike rack, both in the public right-of-way as well as on our site. We have the bike room, and I've heard we will have more bike room spaces, so we will be able to have at least 1 bike space for every unit in the building. So again, I know you hear later from our planner, but I think it's important to recognize that, with the Transit Village designation, there is the idea and concept of promoting multiple forms of transportation. I think this development does include that, and again, having an area that people can utilize, live here and not have to drive every day to work is a benefit. So going to the parking generation, and obviously I think everyone here had heard the electric vehicle parking requirements and what we're required to have. Based on our analysis, again, it was 45 was required without the EV parking. I think everyone agreed that 41 would be the requirement because we're not going to round up, and we do provide 27 parking spaces on site. Obviously, the city does have permit parking, and again, I know you guys probably know your permit parking rules better than I do, but it appears to me that in a Zone 4 building, this was what I believe we're in, we would be able to have parking as long as the user does not have the ability to get a parking space on site. I do have some correspondence from September of this year in which there was an indication that there are 75 available parking spaces for residents within the Bangs Avenue garage. Again, I don't know how accurate that is to date, but that was based in September. We did wish to count the Bangs Avenue garage to get an understanding of how many spaces are available physically there versus being available to rent or buy permits, but we're unable to get access to the garage itself. But again, our understanding is that there is the ability to get permit parking in that garage for residents if they do not have the ability to get parking spaces on their own site, as well as obviously there is ordinance requirements or the ability based on the ordinance to, I would say, buy out the parking requirements, the payment in lieu of parking in the central business district, which would also be obviously an avenue that the applicant would be able to pursue should the board act favorably on the application.
Somebody mentioned that there were time limits for the needed parking on that block?
Correct.
Does the resident parking permits override those?
I believe so, but I'm not the person who gives the tickets
No.
out. No? Okay, does not for the street?
No,
Not this street?
no street.
No
If
street?
there's a time limit, that's for any car, doesn't matter if
Okay.
you permit or not.
But the Bangs Garage,
Then
would-
Banks Garage is a separate entity.
separate entity?
There's no
and-
time limits on it.
Okay,
It's
so
only-
that would be available for residents of this building if they were to seek a permit?
If they were to seek a specific Bangs Avenue garage permit.
Correct. Which, again, based on my reading, they would not be able to if they have a space available to them, but an off-street parking space available to them, but they would be able to,
You are eligible for a Zone 4 permit or a Bangs Avenue garage permit, provided you use all your available parking spaces on your property.
correct.
If a unit has one space, one car has to use that, then a second vehicle and driver can get an on-street permit. They're only allowed to get 2 permits in Zone 4 at a maximum. They have to have 2 or 3 people in a unit to do that.
Correct. So again, that would be an avenue that, obviously, we've heard a lot of discussion about parking that obviously the applicant can investigate or decide to agree to provide or allow for the ability to get those parking spaces. Again, this being a condo unit, the individual spaces are going to be purchased by the tenants upstairs or the owners upstairs. And obviously, we do not have one-to-one within the building itself, so there is the ability for those people, the 3 units that would not get parking in this building, to pursue those outside avenues.
Right, but they are also competing with the rest of the CBD.
Correct.
So this is not anything specific to any building. You're competing with everybody
Correct.
in the CBD.
Yes.
Not a small task.
And parking is a nightmare on these blocks. I live a few blocks away, I got people on Monroe Towers, which is 2 blocks from my house, parking on my block in there, so there's a shortage of parking there. Did you not consider stackers because of what, building heights or something like that?
That is something that we could look to consider including as stackers. Obviously, depending on the type of stacker, they either need to be manned, meaning someone has to work them, or you can have the automated system. We would be willing to look into providing stackers if that's something that is necessary. I would also note that based on the latest U.S. Census data, in owner-occupied units, so these are non-rental units in the city, 11% of owner-occupied units do not have any car based on the census data. I don't know any of those people, so I can't point them out, but that's what the census states, is that owner-occupied units within the city, 11% of them do not have cars.
If I could just add to, the time limits on that street are only in effect from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. So overnight parking wouldn't be a problem for the residents.
Right, if they were able to get
A spot at 6.
if they get a spot or if they are allowed to have a permit.
Yes.
Right.
But still, the daytime parking is a problem. I recently had to try to find a space, right?
Well, it's also the schools there.
You have
The
to
school
have
is-
15 minutes.
James, is that one of the issues that has, like Cookman, does Cookman have a time limit too?
No, not at the moment. It's not the moment.
So like what is the street?
The hardware store. The hardware store and a long
And the
time
hardware
ago.
store sold this parcel, right?
The parking lot, I guess. I don't know. I can't weigh in on that one.
Yeah, okay, so.
So again, from our analysis, again, we are seeking to utilize the payment in lieu of parking for this property. We do believe that there is the ability to gain permits. Again, we would have to compete with everybody else for parking, either in the Bangs Avenue garage or on the street if overnight parking is available, which apparently it is. Again, during the day, 27 of the 30 residents have parking within the building. The other 4, either they may be one of those 11% of owner-occupied units in the city that do not need a car, or they, again, we would work with them to help provide spaces within the Bangs Avenue garage or other permit locations. So again, overall, in terms of our analysis, very low trip generator. We are looking to take advantage of our location because there is multiple ability to utilize multiple forms of transportation living in a place like this. And again, we would like to utilize the availability within the CBD to have parking spaces not just on our site, but utilize public parking spaces in the nearby area for purchase.
And putting the on-site parking away for a second, in terms of the street, we're not eliminating any street spaces as a result of the project,
I
right?
actually think we're adding one more street space. Right now, the parking lot has 2 curb cuts. We obviously consolidated that into a single curb cut, so we do believe there's the ability to add another parking space to the city's parking supply along the site frontage. Don't think that's going to fix Asbury Park's global parking issues, but one more parking space on the street is better than none.
Well, that also depends on how the striping works,
Sure.
based on the driveways and the new curb cuts. I wouldn't, we can say it, but I'm not sure if that really. Sorry?
I think the striping's a little shy.
Yeah, the striping is very shy right now.
So I think it's gonna be 5 spaces, it could be 6.
That street's too narrow for diagonal parking, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, I know that I personally, I don't know how everybody else feels here, but not even having 1 space per unit, I'm struggling with that a lot. I don't know what our possibilities are or how everybody else feels on the board, but not to even have 1 spot per unit?
Yeah, I mean, 11% maybe on the census don't have, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that have more than 1 car.
Yeah.
And, I think you guys gotta look at increasing parking on site somehow.
I agree.
Okay. So we're not guessing, and we're doing our best to address the board's concerns, because, there's a couple, I'll say it at the end before we adjourn, of items that we talked about that we have to address, and I want to make sure that I didn't miss anything, so I'll go through that. But as it relates to the parking, you talked about getting 1-to-1, which we could look at. Is that the goal that you want us tasked with, getting 3 more spots on site, in addition to looking at the permits?
I want you to get as many spots as you can possibly get.
I think you need more than 1-to-1.
Right, you need more than 1-to-1. You're 14 short.
Right.
14 is a lot.
Are you willing?
And that's only 1.5.
But are you willing to make them sacrifice the retail for parking?
Me personally, absolutely.
I think that's a poor decision. So you.
Okay, I mean, I'm only 1 vote.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, I'll say this as a transportation professional, they are very close to our transit-oriented development. They are in the transit development. There is our train station, there is our buses. I know the parking's tight in this area, but I don't think we can provide, we're never gonna provide a space for every car that wants to be here.
Correct.
So, I mean, I don't think it's great that they don't have 1-to-1. If they can get a few extra, that'd be great, but I wouldn't wanna sacrifice the retail to get more parking.
Okay, I mean, if that's your opinion,
Yeah,
that's
totally.
fine.
I'm saying out loud.
Yeah, no, that's good.
No, and I appreciate everybody, being upfront about their opinion on this, so we could try to figure it out. Would a combination of stackers and permits in that other lot be sufficient?
Permits are not a given, meaning that, all right, so, see, us providing permits to people, so now they're just circling just like everybody else is circling.
No, I was saying.
But there are more people circling.
No, I didn't mean in the.
By permits.
I didn't mean on the street, I'm sorry. I meant in that garage.
The garage is up for grabs. The whole CBD can go into that garage if they meet the criteria.
Sure.
They can take every one of those spaces, and by the time this group comes in,
I'm
they're
sorry,
gone.
talking about the Bangs Avenue garage?
Bangs Avenue garage.
Bangs Avenue garage is not a city-owned entity, it's not our garage.
Right, we'd have to.
Very limited access to it. There's only 73 or 74 available
Yeah.
resident parking spaces, and some of those are already dealt out.
Right, so what I was contemplating was, do we, as the applicant, go to that garage and try to secure, let's just hypothetically, 4 or 5 spots? Oh, you can't?
We don't, the agreement we have with them does not permit that.
It's owned by the state of New Jersey.
Yes.
And
we have an agreement-
it's in poor condition where they could next year say we're shutting it down.
I don't know how it's gonna last. But the agreement would not allow a developer to do that.
Okay. Okay. So the task is to find them at least,
How can we get more spots on site?
Stackers?
okay,
Whatever.
okay. Yeah, I just,
You're digging anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a professional that way, so I really don't know, but that's my suggestion is how can you find a way to get more than 27 spots?
okay.
I'll just say out loud, I concur with James that I would not want to give up retail. And this is just my opinion.
I agree with that as well.
Don't want to give up the
Do not want to give, not for park, I
Not
mean,
in my-
stackers, yes.
I'd
Digging,
like to see
yes.
both.
All right, well, there you go.
Okay, no, I appreciate everybody being upfront about what their feelings on it. Okay,
I wouldn't
The retailers.
suggest them going underground, because somebody else did that, and the state made them fill in those spots. So before you do something like that, check with state DEP to see if you can do that.
zone.
That was a flood zone.
Yeah, well,
yeah, I think the reason we were that's even thought about is because we've already done the analysis to go underground for the basement. So if we can do it there, hopefully we can, do it there, but we'll obviously analyze it before we make the decision.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to just open up to the public for Matt? Just to
Do we have any other
Oh, sorry.
questions by,
no, but most people don't bring us a traffic study report, so I appreciate it.
No problem.
And you did it in the busy time. They
You
usually
didn't-
come when it's
We did,
cold.
we knew once we got this project, we couldn't let the summer pass without doing counts,
no,
so.
absolutely,
Do it on,
absolutely, we appreciate that.
On December 28th, yeah.
Appreciate that.
It was no problem today, I'll tell you that. I found the space, no problem.
Any questions from our professionals? All right, any questions for the public for this witness? No? Okay, all right, so do you want to go over what?
Yeah,
what's
so,
next?
so besides for the parking, obviously, which we have to look at, I have, okay, so the first thing that I just, on the items that we're gonna look at are, reducing the 7 discharge points for the stormwater. That was the first thing we talked about a few hours ago, and doing that inlet in the sidewalk. The street lights and coordinating with your professionals on the street lights and your fixtures there. The roof, putting the roof lighting on the plans, doing the frosted glass for the garage door so that the lights aren't coming out of the garage door. Adding 5 units for storage, there was only 25 of those, so you wanted us to add 5 more. Adding additional bike storage on the site. Fixing some of the rendering items just to make sure it's accurate. Noting on the application form or in some letter that we would meet the LEED Silver criteria, even though we're not getting certified, that we would meet that criteria. Expanding the trash room to be larger than what it is.
Compactor or whatever.
Yeah, just
whatever is
addressing that issue
appropriate.
to make sure that there's capacity. And then the trash chute on the floors so that it goes down to that's something that you
That would
wanted.
be ideal, but.
It would be ideal if it's possible.
Okay, so
But,
we'll,
whatever.
yeah, we'll explore that.
Explore it.
Okay. That's all I had. Was there anything else?
There was,
Bike room, additional bike
right,
space,
there was
yes.
adding a knee wall,
Oh, right, that was in the letter.
and there was also a roof lighting.
Yes, I had
plan.
that, I had that.
You're gonna fix the rendering where remove the door on the east side of the roof. There was somebody thought was a door, is not really a door.
Right.
So it's fixing the rendering. Extending the fence.
The
on-
additional 5 feet in the back. yeah.
Right, and move back see if you can move back the parapet.
Yeah, okay.
Parapet wall.
And what we'll also try to do is hit as many comments from the board professional letters in the resubmission so that,
Right.
we clean up the plan also.
Right, we just like to see that the renderings are accurate to
No, I
what
understand.
we have.
Okay,
And figuring out how you're gonna get more parking.
okay. What's the next date that?
I have.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
Two more things.
Sure, go ahead, sure, go ahead.
If you can identify the location of the meters.
Okay.
Because that's gonna be affected by, I guess, the bikes. And then, my other note, it was, the door off the alley, the main
Yeah,
door
the
off the
chair
alley.
just said that, okay. Okay,
Can I just, I know we kind of glossed over the colors. Is everybody good with the color of the brick and the color?
Well,
of
I know that there's a lot of concern usually of any grays.
I had no problem with it.
I think it's a good-looking building.
Yes.
And especially as you can see it from Maine, going down and seeing that corner, I think it's a good-looking building.
What's the next date that the board would have available?
That's our,
I mean, how long do you anticipate needing
Yeah, let me-
to?
If we can, yeah, I mean, hopefully we can get it done in a month, which would mean we'd have to get it to you 10 days before the meeting, but I
well,
think
we
we could do
also have
it.
to get the updates on the reports. So that's gonna extend it.
Yeah,
That extends, Donna and Sam will have to update the reports.
right, okay, no, that's fair. So what dates are you looking at?
If you can submit everything by April 13th, you can get on to the May 18th meeting. If you get everything in by April 27th, you can do the June 1st meeting.
Okay, hold on.
Is that more time, less time, or?
Yeah, when's that?
I mean, I'm not doing the drawings, so I can't.
I can.
What's the date for the April?
So the May 18th meeting, our deadline would be April 13th. And our June 1st meeting, the deadline would be April 27th.
Can we just take the May 18th meeting, and worst case, if we don't have the plans ready, we could always talk about a carrying again.
But then you would have to notice. Meaning that if you don't make the 18th, for the 18th, because right now we're going to say the 18th
Sure.
with no further notice. If you're not ready and you have to do June, then you're gonna have to renotice.
Is that just because you like to carry after a certain, like to renotice after a certain period of time, or?
No, because how would the public know?
Oh, you would just make the announcement at the meeting?
I'd make the announcement right now.
Oh, no, I'm,
Yeah, but we can make the announcement at the May 18th meeting if they decide. that
Okay,
they
then we
need
can
to
carry it that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
If we want to do it that way, we can do it that way.
yeah, I'm not saying that that's gonna happen, it was
No, I
just. Yeah,
understand.
yeah. Okay, so for now, the
Gonna
goal
say
would be.
May 18th?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I'm going to make a motion to carry this application to May 18th, 7 PM with no further notice
Okay, in this room, correct?
in this room. 7 PM.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
All right, and just one other thing that, for the public, that we didn't do comments because the application isn't done. Once the application is finished, then we will take comments at the end.
Okay, thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Second, all in favor, aye.
All in favor?
Aye. Good night.
Oh, Barbara, don't leave, I need you.
Okay. I'm here.